Well, a new year has started, but hey, before we're going to continue on into the new year, let's take a look back at what happened last year, because we're still in a pandemic and lots have happened, but still enough has happened in the idol world as well. So let's take a look back and see and just see what happens. So I would say let's go. I'm joined by Colin, Maru, Derek, Mette, and our guest Ruka. Say hi, everyone.
Hello, I'm Ruka. Hi.
Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. We're yes. So, Akeome. We might be a bit late, but still, Akeome. So, how was everyone's Christmas? So, like, yeah. Colin, what happened?
I didn't do a single thing for Christmas. Is it you are like, I want to let Colin show off his thing. You want me to do that? Do I need to get the thing? No. Christmas. I love Christmas. And what is the best thing to get for Christmas? Probably a gift related to one of the best Christmas movies of all time. This is the Lego Home Alone house, because Home Alone is great. This was a great weekend to build. Oh yeah, Maria hasn't seen this yet.
Yeah.
I bought this. Oh, yeah. That's a short story for Christmas. Because great movie, was great to build. It took 2 days. That was long. But of course it's long. It had like 25 bags of stuff.
Jeez.
Like, things. It took me a good 10, 11 hours-ish. But I managed to get it done. This is not everything, but it's what fits. I don't have that much room there. It's too big. Look at this. This is my head. It's almost as big as my head. I mean, come on. This side, man. Whew, I'm even kind of iffy that it will fall from my hands. It's kind of heavy.
Wow.
But it's pretty big. Like I can fit it here for this thing, and they have a great background for that, and I'm not being here. I can see through the windows, but you can't see me. So this was a fun Christmas.
Wow.
See? It's big. Oh my god. Oh, it's so big. Tokyo Dome big.
Oh god, I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one. Oh jeez.
Not as big as the Tokyo Dome, but it's a bit big, a bit heavy.
Right on.
I don't want it to fall, of course, because then I have all these bricks on the floor, and that would be awful.
Yeah, besides the fact you might miss a couple of them whilst cleaning, so like, yeah.
Under the bed, or like in a corner that I don't... Or...
Oh, I think Colin cut out, by the way. Your mic?
I think he did. Would it be one of our shows that one of us didn't cut out? So
yeah.
At least that's out of the way now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
He's back.
I'm back.
Yeah, got it.
But yeah, it was great to build. I don't want it to break because that would be awful. I'll be like, no, I would just let it lay on the ground and then I'll see to it tomorrow.
Oh.
It's that big. Took me so many hours, so yeah, makes sense. But it's cool. Love it. My entire family loved it. When we were done with the Christmas presents, we put that under the tree so that there would be something under the tree. And we loved it for the week and a half that we had the tree up after Christmas. Nice. So that was fun.
Nice. Murray, how were your days?
Well, for Christmas I was very cold, and for New Year's I was very drunk.
Oh.
Christmas I was
great combo.
At home at my family home in the countryside, and it's like this old stone house, like old like. Not even made of stone bricks, like straight up stone, like it's hundreds of years old.
Ooh.
And it is all like heated by fire, which it's really nice to sit in front of the fire while it's cold everywhere else, but also it's really goddamn cold there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it was nice seeing the family. I went sledding with my older brother, which was really fun because both me and him hadn't been sledding in like 10 years. But
oh wow.
It was a really fun experience. It was like a special sledding, like little mountain. It was really steep. I fell out of the sled like fucking 5 times. It was fun. I was back in the dorms for New Year's, and I was with some friends, just very, very drunk.
Yeah. Ooh.
Very
nice. Ruka.
Thank you for
Oh yes. Ruka, what did you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Things were kind of hectic. Not gonna go into detail about it, but things were like hectic. But it was still fun, you know. My uncle who lives out of state got to come over and visit for a little bit. Also, my cousins came as well. My aunt and her daughter. So I got Jackbox on. I got like Party Pack 6 on my.
Oh, nice.
And so like me and her and then one of my younger brothers were like playing it. So that was a lot of fun. They brought their puppy too, so I got to see their puppy after a long time. It's very cute.
Oh, awesome. Nice. And for New Year's?
For New Year's, again, kind of the same thing, like kind of hectic, stuck, but still just you know, nice, you know, getting to spend time with, even that. Like not a lot of family came, but like those who did come, it was like just nice to spend with them.
Oh yeah, definitely awesome.
Mm.
How about you, Mette?
It was a quiet Christmas. It's been still in a sort of lockdown situation here, so you can't really do anything. So, but I got to spend it with my family. I got books for Christmas. So I'm happy. And for New Year's, I ended up being identified as a potential close contact to someone. So I was in quarantine.
Oh!
Yay.
But I didn't get COVID, so it was fine. But still, it kind of sucked seeing your friends partying, knowing you were supposed to be there as well, having fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So wow, still, yeah.
I got books that I could read. I got the first season of West Wing on DVD that I could watch. So I was happy.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
At least you are happy.
Yeah, exactly. No, as for me, I didn't do much. It's because like my country was also in a lockdown, so it was mostly spending time with the family and eating quite a bit, and well, along with the alcohol as well. So yeah, it's more like it's the usual, but still it's the classic, you know, spending time with your loved ones, especially after what happened after my aunt died. After my aunt died in 2021, so it's more like you appreciate your family way more than before. So yeah,
absolutely,
yeah. But it was a fun Christmas, and as for New Year's, it was like just have the family over as well and spend time together, and like with champagne and such, the usual basically. So
fireworks.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, that's about it. So Derek, what did you do?
Well, for Christmas, Miho had a double live, so we had a live event in the morning and a live event in the evening. So we were busy all day from morning till night, basically just at live houses, just doing shows. I didn't really want to spend Christmas at home because like all my family is in America, and I can't go there now because of this stupid pandemic. So it was just something to keep the mind busy. Also, we were asked to play. And Miho was asked to play, and it was like, all right, Christmas. It was actually a lot of fun. Just it's Christmas. So, I mean, the thing about Christmas, though, in Japan is, like, Christmas is over on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
Like, Christmas Day is, like, a normal day. Christmas Eve is when everyone parties and gets down. Everyone's, like, going nuts and having fun. Christmas Day was just, like, another day. I mean, in the morning, mainly the only thing you'd even know it was Christmas is a lot of the adults were dressed up in, like, either Santa outfits or reindeer outfits or Christmas trees. So, I saw a lot of those, Miho was dressed up, of course. But it was fun. It was easy. It was a very, very relaxing thing. Something happened Christmas night show that I will be referring to later with one of the categories, so I'll save it for that. It's hysterical.
Oh boy.
For New Year's, I went with my friend, my dear friend Chochi and his wife. They wanted to take me out someplace so I wouldn't be alone on New Year's Eve. So I thought that was very cool. We went to go see a Japanese belly dancer at some Persian restaurant in the middle of BFE Tokyo, and it was unbelievably fun. Like it was to the point like there was like 8 or 9 people in the restaurant, and we were all at one point in a circle dancing with the belly dancer, because the belly dancer kept coming over to me and getting me to dance, and you know, and then the guy who's running the restaurant's a Persian guy, so he was so happy to have a foreigner there. So like we were just talking up a storm. He was so nice. Food was great. This girl was so beautiful and like so friendly. Spoke some good English. So like yeah, it was just a really good night. Then after that, me and my friend, we went back to his house, and his wife made me like wine, like hot wine with apples in it and blueberries. And
oh wow, okay.
Like, yeah, and it just got really hammered until like, 3 in the morning. He lives real close, so I can just walk home.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like, yeah. So it was a fun time.
Nice.
This sounds really fun.
It was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was all in all, it was a good year, even though with the pandemic. So it's more like I'm still hoping the pandemic ends at some point, but still we gotta live with it for now, I guess. So can't be helped in this case.
Nope, it's never ending. Sorry.
Yeah.
It will continue for the end of time.
Till the end of time. Sorry.
Christmas. It will be around for forever.
Oh God, that's one bleak outlook. That's one bleak outlook. But from this on, yeah. But yeah, still, since we're doing the special, let's go with the first topic, I would say. Colin, why don't you introduce us to it?
First topic. So we have 8 topics. We're gonna talk about them, and we're gonna reveal our picks. For the first one, new discovery. Let's start on a positive note. Who has someone that this year they were like, this was the year I got introduced to them because it was their first appearance, or after a certain amount of time they finally hit for me. You know, they finally clicked with me, and I finally became a fan of them. Who has a great pick for it? Who thinks this was an easy one for me? Maria has an easy one.
Yep.
I have the SKE Little Center Hayashi Mirei.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really fell for her. She's a really great center. I really hope to see a lot from her going forward, like, because she's so young, and she is such an insanely strong center, and I just wish I could see more performances that she's doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like,
of course.
Sakurasaka has honestly just spoiled me with live streamed concerts. SKE.
Yeah, of course.
Please take note, AKB.
Please take note.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. Little Hayashi Mirei is my pick.
Very good.
Great example.
Awesome.
Mate, do you have someone that you discovered this year?
Yeah, and it was really unexpected. I didn't find this person because of the online handshake events for AKB. Because I had decided I wanted to meet Yuihan, I wanted to meet Manaka. Those were the two that were like, these are the people, I'm not going to do anyone else. And then I saw on Twitter, and if you're into like Mitotomu, or her little sister Mito-Orin, you should go follow Aya.
Oh yeah, Aya like that, yeah.
But she did a sub video of Orin speaking English, trying to encourage international fans coming to her
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
And because of that video, I decided like I want to try this. And it's also a great opportunity for me to test my Japanese on people. And Orin has been so much fun getting to know in the past couple
Oh, nice.
She loves Pokemon. She has so many fun performances. And you know what? Orin has been my new discovery because this year was the year I really saw her for who she is as an idol.
Great reveal,
Yeah.
reveal.
Awesome.
Ruka, do you have someone?
Oh yes, I do have someone. So I was gonna go with one K-pop group that actually debuted last year. It was their debut year. I was gonna go with them at first, but then I was like, when I looked at my other choices, I'm like, I'm gonna talk about them probably the majority of this whole video. So I'm like, I'm gonna talk about someone else just for a little bit of variety.
Sure, why not?
So this is a group who has been around for a while, but I did start to get into them and their music this past year, and that's 17.
Oh,
okay.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Or if you know me, or if you've seen, my videos on our channel, the NoAKBNoLife channel, the majority of idol groups, whether it's in J-pop or in K-pop that I listen to, I listen to majority of girl groups. Like 48 group, obviously, but also like Luna, Dreamcatcher, and a bunch of other girl groups in K-pop.
Yeah, it makes sense.
More of the time, I listen to girl groups more than boy groups. There are a couple of boy groups that I've heard like a couple songs from them, or I'm kind of familiar with them. Like BTS obviously is a big one because they're like everywhere, so I've known about them for a while, but I'm not like hardcore standing into them. But like when I was hearing like some of 17's music, I was hearing their music and I'm like, this sounds really fun. I really like this. So you can see on the reaction channel, I went on a whole journey where I watched like a bunch of their music videos and I just fell for these boys. Their music is so fun to listen to, and also their music videos as well, especially like some of the videos that I love the most from them are the ones where it's like they're filming while they're like touring, or they're like overseas, like in America, like back when you could do world tours and stuff like that. Goofing around, having fun, doing silly stuff. Like Holiday specifically is the one that comes to mind with me, because you know what I mean, Maru, because in Holiday in the chorus they do this dance where they're just like, and it's just silly stuff like that.
For everybody
that
else,
I loved.
17 is actually one of my all-time favorite groups. So yeah, I don't think I should do guys.
Oh yeah, like
she knows.
And also just this sense that like there's a lot of their songs, like a lot of their slower songs too. Like I love their super fun and energetic stuff, but also like a lot of their more slower songs just have this sense of comfort to them, because I hear that's like part of their concept is energy and healing is like part of their concept. So there's like, you can have the super fun, energetic, like dancing stuff, and then you can have these more slower, more comforting sounding songs. Like I love the song Home. I think that's my favorite song from them, because I loved that song when I first heard it, when I first watched the music video. It's definitely one of my favorites from them. And Maria, since I remembered that your bias in 17 is Wooji pretty much stole my heart too. I really liked his singing voice. When I was seeing like some variety content from them, I thought his personality was really cute. And also just when I was watching I remember the specific moment I found out, I'm like, oh, I think Wooji is my bias. I was watching a relay dance I think the first one I saw was Left and Right. I was watching that, and when Wooji came up, I realized, because when they're all lined up, in like a straight line, you notice Wooji was the shortest. When I saw him come up, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so tiny compared to everyone else. And that was that little moment was when I was like, oh, okay, I really like Wooji.
This topic up, Wooji is tiny. He is shorter than me. He is, I think, 100.
That's like you're really short and you're not.
He's like 5'4", right? 5'4", 5'5".
Almost 5'4". He's 5'3".
Oh, okay, 5'3". Okay.
Yeah, short.
It happens. Men come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very well put.
Speaking of though, did you hear his solo track Ruby? Because I checked that out as well, because that came out at the start of this year. Holy cow, the attitude in that song is like so different from what I'm used to from him. So yeah.
We'll have to talk about it later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sub show.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, great explanation. Rondi, DX, do you have a great pick?
Not necessarily new, but for me they have been off the radar for a bit. But for me, it's the first international sister group in the 48 group, JKT48. Ever since that live performance was linked to us, I was like, getting back into them, and I have to say, Melody, she's doing some great work, I would say. So it's not necessarily new, but it's a great return to form for me, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do this year. So yeah, for me it's JKT48.
Well, it's funny you say that, because my new discovery also comes from JKT. I did not notice that you had picked this, so this is great. If people remember, when that new era video came out, there was one girl that stood out to me, and I didn't know who she was because I only knew Steffi and the rest of the members. I didn't really follow them, didn't really know them, so I'm like, where do I begin? Must I check all the members? Who is that? And someone was kind enough to give me her name, and it's Siska. She was the drummer with the high ponytail. She stood out to me. And the funny thing is, the day that I knew her name, I checked her Instagram, and she won a movie award for Best Newcomer in Indonesia. So it's like, okay, this is the one that I picked. She has an award already. So that was just great timing, I found. But she's great. I've seen another new performance by them doing Only Today at this show. Forgot the name, I'm sorry. And it's like, yeah, she's great. I really like her. She's the only member for me of any group that I started following this year, or in 2021, that is. Because I've seen with the 48 groups everyone enough that I'm like, the ones that I'm interested now, I am interested in, so I'm not really adding, I'm only subtracting, unfortunately.
Oh.
With all the graduations. But she is the one where I'm like, just random, I saw her in a random performance from a group that I think is great, but never really followed all that closely, and I'm like, yeah, great pick, it worked for me. So it's funny that we both had JKT.
Yeah.
It's like, you would not expect that to happen from like a sister group, and then both of us have the same group, so it's funny.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
But also big thanks to all the people who have been commenting about JKT on
Oh, yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
True.
Like we've gotten some really in-depth introductions to some members to the group. It's
We have,
really
yep.
fun
Oh,
to
definitely,
go
yeah.
through all that. And like, just know, even if somebody doesn't like, answer quite as thoroughly, would you read them?
Of course.
Yes.
I mean, it would be difficult to match that kind of comment to someone. You're like, I thank you so much. You can only say it so many times before, but it's true.
Yes.
So the last new discovery for us is Derek. Derek, what's your new discovery? Or who is your new discovery, I should say?
Well, I wanted to say I agree with the comment discussion there that I remember a couple years ago when we were doing this, and DX can definitely back me up on this. We used to get mad crazy comments, and like I would like try to comment to every single person, but it got a little out of hand crazy. Like once we started getting into some of the sister groups who I shall not name, it just got really out of hand. So I think it's nice to get a lot of positive feedback, especially with groups like JKT, who, again, all of us were wild this year, weren't we?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
They came out of the blue. We're just like, oh my god, what this? They haven't been quiet. They've been working on stuff, and I really appreciated that. But then we've been wowed by a lot of groups this year, actually. I mean, if we really want to get into it, but for me, the new discovery, I'm coming in. First of all my answers are going to be pretty much in the Chica world. Sorry, it's just that was my world this year. It was nice to check in with AKB and nice to do this, but my world has been so focused on Chica just because that's the world I'm in. But I'm also looking at this as a producer as well as a consumer. So on a producer level, I was very pleasantly surprised to pick up Hana. She's a girl who was a dancer in this, idol in this group called SKEvolution, which is the sister group to this group called Lily Kaona, who I'm really like adoring and in love with. And I was very surprised. I saw her show. She came over and talked to me. She was like, "You remember me?" I'm like, "Of course I remember you." Like one of her fans a long time ago. Well, I used to take Checky for SKEvolution just randomly. I end up being Checky staff for so many groups, it's unreal. But I just happened to be their Checky staff one show. I don't even know how or why. And one of her fans made me take a Checky with her. And staff doesn't take Checky with idols. It's like, it's not that it's forbidden, it's just kind of like, why, It's like your staff. But it's frowned upon mostly, but there are ones that do it. So but if a fan tells you, oh, it's no problem. So I went and did it, and she speaks really decent English. And I'm like, oh shit, oh sorry. I was like, wait, you speak English? Like, okay. So like we started to be really close. Then I didn't see her for a while. Turns out she left STUnited, and then she saw me. She's like, yo, I'm a solo idol. I hear you're producing. How about we hook up and do stuff with that? And I'm like, let's do it. So we have been working our butts off for the past month and a half or so, trying to get everything in line. She's going to debut this year in May, but that was a really amazing discovery for me because I didn't realize she was such an incredible dancer. Not that she wasn't good in STUnited, but this girl can really dance. And we've had a lot of discussion. She's asked me advice on what to do. So as a producer, I told her, you need to put up as many TikTok videos as you can. And this girl has been on a rampage. So if you check out Hana's TikTok, she's crushing it. So so there's that. As a consumer, there's this group called Tokyo PN, who I'm in love with. They're like the Guso drop for me now. Like Tokyo PN are absolutely, forgive my French, batshit insane. There's 6 members. Sometimes it's whenever they feel like showing up. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do show up and they just lay on stage and they drink and they get drunk and they pass out.
What?
Sometimes they don't. Just wait till later for the shocking stuff because I have a great story for that. But I'm just saying, like, they have become, first of all, like, they were, Miho's, like, second show ever, really, was with them. And one of the girls really took to Miho. And then, since then, they have been, every time we play with them, they, like, obsess over Miho. Like, they love her. Like, they're always kissing her, grabbing her boobs, and just touching her, and kissing her, and me too. One of the members...
Derek, please don't use those words. If it's not actually that. Please.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube, we are not talking about that. Please don't ban us there. Yeah, you might have to cut that out.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, cut that out. You're welcome to cut that out.
Yep.
You're right. Dude, I totally forgot. You can't say those things. Yeah, YouTube will totally ban us. Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, cut that out. Anyways, this group is insane. They're one of the most shocking extreme groups I've seen in forever. And every show, I never know what to see. Recently, played a show with a birthday show for Amical, the one girl that actually took her initially. And the very last song, the girl, like, it was kind of a fairly normal show for them. Like, only a couple of members are sort of drunk, and I don't know. I was like, what's going on? This doesn't seem like that. And then out of the blue, the last song, they did this, like, almost like death metal song that wasn't their song. They covered it, and it was just her, the birthday girl singing. She took her pants off, and she balled them up, and then she, like, threw them as hard as she could at one of the members' face. The girl flew backwards, hit the wall, fell down, was pretty much knocked out. Then she went over and then, like, was like, are you alright? Okay, good, whatever. Kept her down there. Then the rest of the members went in the crowd. She, like, bowed to them, then flew backwards, and then just, like, a crowd dive into them. And then while she's, like, gyrating in her underwear and wearing a tight shirt, too. She took her shirt off, too, and put on another shirt. And it was, like, a real tight, like, she had, like, the tightest blue bloomers you could imagine. And then she was, like, gyrating and doing, like, crazy moves and vocals. And then afterwards, she's like, thank you, everybody. Because she's, like, so soft-spoken. And she's easily the most normal member out of the group.
Wow.
She balled her pants up and whipped it as hard as she could at this girl. And then she literally, the girl, like, bam, and hit her head and, like, fell. It was, like, the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. But that's actually a tame show compared to what I'll tell you guys later. Like, they're easily the best discovery I've seen. Their producer, Hyoko-san, is crazy. He's nuts. Sometimes he gets on stage and just starts singing with them and goes nuts, and he's just as crazy. Yeah, Tokyo PN is definitely the best revelation of 2021 for me as far as consumers go. They're insane.
Wow. So, oh my god.
Just a normal Friday, it sounds.
Just a normal Friday.
Just a normal performance, you know. Just another day at the office, basically. Oh my god.
Fun stuff. This is already category 1, so we're in for a ride.
Wow.
Wow,
yeah.
Indeed.
The next category. Yes.
Yeah, got it. Well, the next topic I would say would be best year for idols. So, who had the best year? Last year. So, let's start out with Maru. Go for it.
For this topic, I honestly struggled a hell of a lot.
Oh, okay.
A hell of a lot. Like, my first pick would be Hitomi,
yeah.
but that all the good things she has had in AKB is overshadowed by this giant cloud of eyes want disbanded. It's like, can I really pick her? You know, can I really? The answer is yes. Yes, I can.
Okay.
That's funny.
She has had an incredible year. She has had so much work. She has been, like, there hasn't been a week where she hasn't had a photo shoot.
Yeah, isn't she active almost every day? So yeah.
She is so insanely active and visible all the time. There is also AKB members singing her praises over how she has made the Senbatsu insanely synchronized. How it's like having another dance teacher with the group, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
She has really been shining this year. As long as we forget about the disbandment.
Yeah, besides that, that's, yeah.
Push that a little bit to the side.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Awesome, awesome pick. Really good pick. Colin, how about you?
So this is a category that I kind of mended a little bit because I did not really feel for one particular member. So it's kind of a weird thing I did. So instead of just idol, I did idol group because it's the best thing that I could come up with. I had really nothing. So my pick is AKB had a good success in like the final part, more or less, from 2020.
Yeah.
After Rumor, where it's like they kind of made a comeback, or the start of it, kind of like with JKT's new era, where they will probably, hopefully, I hope really, bring in a new era, because with Rumor, so many people were talking about it online, and it's so many performances that they have done on TV, but also from what I've heard indirectly, I have not particularly seen it, but I just take the people's word for it, that online people were dancing to it, for instance on TikTok, and it really showed that they are going up again. There's more of a going up where they like, if they keep it up, that would be great too.
Honestly, I feel like it's before Nemohama Rumor, the group was just
sliding down. Yeah.
They were doing it. They were crashing and burning, and then they
released having a fun concert once in a while.
And Nemohama Rumor, and it was just like, it's
not fine. We're back.
It's not fine. You know.
Yeah, it's stable now. I would say it's stable more. Yeah. Yeah.
It's stable.
Yeah.
No more crashing, burning. Stable.
Less fire. So I just picked that because there wasn't any particular member that I felt that had that great of a year, and I felt that particularly with AKB in the recent years makes it seem like very long, but I'm like talking like a year or two. It's
it's been pretty long,
on the low, not great things happen or anything at all, and then they had Rumor that ignited something, which I hope will continue. There's some things happening, so I hope for good stuff. So I just picked, kind of a vague, indirect answer, but I hope it's a decent one.
Yep, it works for me, so no complaints. I don't think anyone else complaining, so that's I think that's a plus. But how about you, Ruka?
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce this group. I also have a group because I couldn't pick just one idol, kind of like Colin.
Okay.
You're gonna hear me talking a lot about this group because they just debuted last year at the end of February, and this is PIXY.
Oh, PIXY, yeah, I know them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe I mentioned them the last time I was on here, as a guest for you guys.
So.
Yeah.
But this was a strong debut for them, and I just fell in love with them the moment that I saw them. Just their concept is so unique because it's really dark. It wasn't something I could exactly call girl crush. I remember when I was showing it to my friend, the way I described it was more dark crush, because it is a really dark concept, and there is sort of like, especially in like their first single, Wings, there was this whole kind of gothic vibe to the, especially with their outfits, but we'll get to more with that later.
Oh, okay.
But like, I remember loving their music because it was like so cool, and they had like so many of their songs like had these really like this mix of like really powerful stuff, but also like really light and feminine sounds to it as well. These girls, even though they like just debuted, their performance skills are like amazing. Like so many people have said like they look like they perform like veterans, and yet they like just debuted, and a lot of them are so good, and they have such good chemistry with each other, and so many amazing personalities. Like, it's one of those things where you see them like they have this like dark, really cool concept, and they're like such badasses on stage, and then when you just see them like normal, just hanging out with each other, they're just like the biggest dorks, and I love that. I love when a group can be like just these really cool, powerful badasses on stage, and then they're just total dorks in real life.
And the gap.
The gap, yeah.
The gap.
Yeah, the gap.
Yes, the gap, exactly, and I love that. And again, just the music that they have been putting out so far has been so good, and it has me so excited for what they're gonna do next. So, yeah, just absolutely in love with PIXY. Fell in love with them this year, and so excited for more.
Awesome. Yeah, so really curious what they're going to do this year, so it's a great pick. How about you, Mette?
Really good pick.
Oh, yeah, sorry. How about you, Mette?
I really went back and forth on this because 2021 has still been a difficult year for idols because of the situation, and how do you measure a best year?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I did end up with someone I feel like deserves that recognition for all the hard work she's done in 2021, and that is Takamina.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Ah,
really good pick. Good pick. Yeah.
Sure.
The Shining of CGM48 has, in this past year, given us the first original song of CGM that she helped produce. And that song is fantastic. It's one of my favorite songs of the year. And everything about that era of CGM was so much fun. We got so many online shows. We had the dorm project that went on for a season. We have the cat idols that's happened.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like Izurina has just been on top for essentially most of the year. And
it honestly feels like to me in CGM, like when fans have something that they want to happen, they don't message the management. They don't talk to the management. No, they talk with Izurina. They're like, Izurina, please make this happen. Yes, Izurina.
Yeah.
She's the go-to girl.
It is, and you see how passionate she is about this. Even now, when you see like the fellow Gen members from AKB has announced graduations, and she's still going strong. And Izurina has had one of her best years in her careers, in my opinion.
And she somehow unlocked teleportation. Yeah.
Again, like she gotta keep doing
that. Yeah. Yeah, she was busy. Yeah, going to various concerts, but also the theater, and then still be in correlation with CGM. It's like, yeah, no, she's doing it just because she can and will. So that's good. No, I agree.
Hope for a good year for her in 2022 as well.
Hopefully.
CGM.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, as for me, my best year for idol is basically the same as Maru. I also went for Honda Hitami because ever since the disbandment of Ice One, she has been pushed heavily towards the front line. Whilst before the whole Ice One project, she was not even in Sanbatsu, and now she's basically a lock-in for future releases, I would say. So yeah, that's basically my pick, and the rest of the reasons Maru already explained, so it's a bit shorter answer for me this time around. So my pick is Honda Hitami. So Derek, how about you?
Yeah, like this was a hard one, but at the end I just sort of went with what I know and what I've done, and I'd have to say Mio. She had the best year ever. First of all, she debuted in August. And she debuted. Not only did she debut, but right before that, or right after, I think it was right before it, she had an online Checky session, and our goal was to get over 400 Checky sold. She did 430 something. So I don't know any idol that's ever done that, like ever. And so that might even be a record. Plus, not only that, but we did the online Checky session was like over, I think, 16 hours. Like we sat here and went delirious with no sleep, and I think at some point I think we were pretending we were animals. I don't know, like it was so crazy. But yeah, we accomplished the goal, and she's done numerous online Checky sessions where she's hit over 100 200 Checky per session. Again, just nobody I know can do that. Not any of these groups that I work with, just about, you know, there's some that can, but they, you know, considering she's brand new, that's pretty impressive. On top of that, she, you know, released her first single, Doubt, and then we also made an MV for it. And so that was also released. You know, I want to say played well over 40 or 50, maybe even 60 shows in just the very short amount of time that she's been out, I want to say. Like, she's been non-stop at it. She did a lot of different types of merchandising, which was also pretty impressive. She entered the Gravier world. She did a lot of Gravier stuff. It was nice to see her develop that kind of trust that goes with doing that sort of thing, because it's very sensitive stuff. So, but she knocked it out of the park. Just about every single one of her Gravier sets have sold out or close to. So she had the craziest year ever, you know, and it's just amazing to watch her grow from being somebody who, when she stood on that stage for the first time, had a warbly voice and was nervous, to now she owns everybody. Like, everybody loves her. Everybody's bows down to her. Like, this girl is on fire, and she still is going. I don't know, like, she just had her birthday show on Sunday, mm-hmm. And that was very impressive. And you know, she's just doing really good. Definitely, she's had the best year I think you can possibly ask for, considering you know, her producer's a foreign guy who can't speak a whole lot of Japanese, and she somehow trusts me with her whole career. But she's doing good. So I'd say she definitely had the best year.
Awesome. Yeah. Great, I would say great picks from everyone. So it was like, yeah, some expected choices, but also some surprising choices or interesting choices. So I really like the variety of choices everyone has made. But
honestly, with this whole best year thing, I feel like in both J-pop and K-pop, honestly, there hasn't really been many groups who, like, overall had, like, an insanely good
year.
Like, I feel like a lot of groups and others had, like, one good release, and then it was like,
yeah,
rest of it is.
I can feel that.
Yes, but it's been more spread out, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, but it isn't really one who is, like, consistently always in the middle of attention.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I would add to that, Maria. That's such a good point. That this year has been rough. Again, we're year 2 of the pandemic, and we've seen so many graduations of big names, huge names, and both Chica and Major, and K-pop. I don't know, has K-pop seen its share of people leave in 2021? Would you say?
No, actually. In terms of groups disbanding, it's been quiet.
Oh.
Got 7 disbanded, but like other than that, everything is going down this year. All the contracts are ending this year. So
so we might get an exodus this year, basically. Oh.
I got you.
Pretending it's not happening.
My all-time favorite group, EXO's contract is up this year, and I am terrified, absolutely petrified. So.
Oh God! So it has still yet to come, though. Oh.
I've heard B and K's.
They expire in December of this year, so in December I'm just not gonna. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get through December.
There are only 11 months in 2022.
Oh God.
I think, just to finish my comment, so I was gonna say that, like, that I feel that every group had enormous challenges that they had to face worldwide, every group, and so I'd say all together it could have been a heck of a lot worse. So we did see a lot of graduations that were painful, very painful, but that's just kind of normal. It's part of the idol world. You have to just accept that. That doesn't matter. That's pandemic proof. It's going to happen whether doesn't matter what's going on in the world. But overall, I'd say everybody was sort of just doing what they could, and you know, we did see some flashes of brilliance here and there. You know, like Izarina, for example, just really crushed it. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. We'll see what 2022 brings. Sounds to me we're already in for it.
Yeah, we're in for a wild ride, it seems.
We shall see.
Yes. So speaking of on a bit more negative side, since we're at it, worst costume. So Colin, take it away.
Pretty good segue. Pretty good segue. It works. So worst costume. Ruka, do you have a costume where you're like, I didn't really like this one, kind of feel, or something along those lines?
Well, I mean, see, the thing is, because I was thinking about all the costumes that I've seen from like the various groups that I follow, and there was one that I was looking at where I'm like, I chose it for the worst costume for a different reason than you guys would probably think. And that was Luna's outfits for their comeback Paint the Town. So
can you describe it a bit? Yeah.
Allow me to clarify. A lot of the outfits, because they had like various different, you know, outfits and concepts and stuff like that. You know, like when they do photo shoots for like different versions of the album, they have different concepts. So a lot of the outfits looked really good. Like, I think one of my favorites, I'll actually post up a couple pictures for you guys of some of the outfits that I really liked, but
we can do that once again. We still have best costume, other costumes. Let's not talk about the good costumes under the worst costume category.
No, I mean, no, let me explain. So, like, there's this outfit, for example, which I really, really like. Like, you know, the black and the white with the golden trim and all that. It's like, visually, I think it's really good. The reason why I picked these outfits were for the worst, because a lot of them were not really that practical for the stage, especially for performing a song like Paint the Town. Like, you see here, you can kind of see here, because the background is white here. Some of the members have some really flowy, long skirts.
Yeah.
And so there were like moments, you know, people have caught it on like, you know, fan cams whenever they perform on stage and stuff like that. When you're wearing outfits like this that have a lot of flowy parts or long skirts, they have the tendency to step on their skirts, potentially trip up and hurt themselves.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the fan cams caught that. Apparently nobody in the company thought to give them knee pads. There are a lot of times where they're like kneeling on the ground, or some of them are just like because it's such a powerful song, like falling, you know, on their knees. So some of them got a little bruised and cut up around the knees, and no one thought to give them knee pads. They were just like, oh no, we'll just put some, you know, some cloth around their knees. But it's like, but it slides off whenever they perform.
And but that's just Luna's company, because a lot of the viewers, J-pop fans, Luna has a company that is throwing absurd amounts of money at them, and it's all money they do not have.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah.
There's a whole thing about like how much money they have or don't have, them being in debt, or, you know, workers not getting, you know, staff not getting paid at all. It's a whole thing. So
fun stuff.
It's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
fun.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm just gonna file it under the company didn't have money for knee pads.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh man.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting take.
Yeah, that's why I'm inclined to put it in there, because like visually I loved it, but it's like you couldn't rearrange the outfits, like get rid of some of the longer flowy parts so, you know, they don't step on themselves or trip over themselves or hurt themselves on stage. They could have done better.
No, this makes sense. Interesting take. Like, I can see it. I would be able to work with this. It makes sense.
It's a shame too, because there are a lot of other outfits they've worn too. Like, there's some where they're like in denim outfits that look a lot better. They don't have as many flowy parts so they're not tripping up on stage, or stuff where it's like black leather, so it's like, or like black leathery looking stuff. So it looks really cool and fits the concept, but it's like it's these outfits specifically where it has the long flowy dressy parts where I'm like, do something about that so that they don't hurt themselves, please.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. That makes sense. Makes sense. Rondi, do you have a costume where you're like, don't like
to be quite honest, I was thinking about it quite a lot, but for me, none of the costumes this year were particularly bad, to be quite honest. It's more like I saw the latest releases from every group, and whilst the costumes might be a bit plain, they weren't necessarily bad for me. So, to be quite honest, I had to leave this one open for me, so I don't have a specific pick on this topic, so...
well, actually, the thing is, this my pick for it. Funny you say that. I picked out of default because, for that kind of reason, it's from STU's 6th single, Hitorigoto no Kataru Karanara. And I actually, funny you say plain. I picked it because I found them to be particularly plain compared to the rest. Like I also checked everything, just to look at the MVs and like, okay, which costumes didn't like, because the ones that I liked, I had a good sense, but like ones that I didn't, no one stood out. So, and I saw this one and I'm like, this reminds me of Shitsu and Arigato, which was a song I really liked, but the costumes were too plain looking. There wasn't anything to it, them in particular, that I liked. So I picked the STU ones because I like the dresses, I like the flow dresses, but there's no detail to it. It's just as if it's a sheet. So that's a very bad way.
Honestly, Colin, I cannot disagree more. The STU ones are one of my favorites.
Ooh. Oh boy, oh boy.
Same thing with Shitsu and Arigato. I've said this before, and when I talk about my favorite costume, this makes sense. I need a little bit more to it. It's just too generic for me. A bit too plain. I forget it. It's like sheet.
I don't like Shitsu's and Arigato costumes, but these ones, they are like, the way they are just fitted is so pretty, and the layers it has.
Yeah.
The shape it creates. Yes.
Yeah, and but I just like more detail to it. More particular tiny things here and there.
Yeah,
even that you can see from a distance.
Me and
so this was by default.
Tend to have really different tastes in costumes, I feel like. That is the first time we've hard disagreed on costumes.
Maybe when we get to best costumes, we'll have a similar... Well, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
That one will make sense. It will make sense when I also talk about the best costumes. Because I do like the more... I want more. More is always better for me. And this is less. Which makes sense. I never tend to like less, so it fits my usual taste. Not that I think they're awful. But just a bit too basic, too simple. So, well, speaking then of worst costumes, Maria, what then are your worst costumes for 2021?
Sakurasaka 46's Guzen no Kota costume. It was almost good. It was this white dress, and it was pretty alright. Not the best, but alright. And then for some insane reason, they added like these blue like tufts, tassels, or whatever everywhere, and it looked awful. Like overall, this is a pattern with Sakurasaka costume. It's like overall like this, and then they decided to add this one very unnecessary detail that ruins it all.
Yeah.
And that
makes sense.
was the worst example of it, because the rest of it was very plain. But so there wasn't any redeeming qualities to it. It was plain, and then a part that I absolutely despised. Which is a shame, because I absolutely adore the song, and I adore the music video 100 times more. So, why costumes? Why? Why? So much better.
No. That makes sense. No, it makes sense. Like the one thing where you're like, it doesn't fit, and it kind of destroys the whole image. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Meta, do you have any costumes where you're like,
So I've been thinking about it, and I've been going through MVs throughout the year. I've been looking at theater performances, and I wasn't able to pick one, really. Like, yes, there are costumes that are plain this year, but not to the extent of give them this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mainly because they were meh. But you know, I'm kind of agree with you with this STU one, but at the same time, I like it enough that I don't want to give it the worst costume of the year.
That makes sense.
Maybe I've been thinking maybe one of the WAC MVs have really weird costumes, but I can't remember which WAC group it was. So I'm keeping it as a. There were no outstandingly bad this year for me.
Making something positive out of a negative, well, more negative inclining category. That works. That works. Again, it's just there aren't really bad ones, but like, you gotta have something like a feel where you're like, this is maybe along the lines of where I'm like, not really vibing it. It happens. Hopefully with best costumes we have better picks. But then again, keeping it positive is always.
Yeah, exactly.
Derek, costumes. Which one did you not like?
Well, I mean, it's like I actually have a lot of compassion and sympathy for groups when it comes to their costumes, because costumes designs 99.99999% of the time have nothing to do with the idols. It has something to do with like the producers thinking a certain image and style, and it really comes down to how much they actually care about that versus how much the costumes have a meaning to what they're doing. Some costumes are very important to the actual songs. For some groups, it's like, oh, I'm an idol, let's get you something that looks like an idol costume, and that's about as much thought as goes into it. Each idol is put in a position where they have to really kind of be at the mercy of the producer. Or if they're a solo idol, it gets even harder because they're at the mercy of their wallet. You know, how much money they can afford. Because costumes, and take it from me, because I have to pay for quite a few, they're very expensive, and they take a long time. That being said, I don't really have a worst costume, but I have a worst costume story. So maybe that, and it's not even really, okay, so it's tangential, but I thought you guys would appreciate this. So I apologize if this doesn't exactly fit the category, but I think it kind of does. So I was thinking, like, okay, so like Miho recently had a show at Heaven's Door, which is a very popular like punk and metal venue here in Tokyo. It's been around like 30-something years, and basically that venue is known for extreme performances by people. Basically, anything and everything is allowed there. Anything and everything. Oh. And it turns out, so I had invited a group. I won't say which group, because I don't want to embarrass them. But they have some members who did not apparently realize what this venue was, nor did I realize I should tell them. You're about to see some crazy stuff, because they were playing with bands. Because at this place, it's almost all bands. They don't really do idols. So I'm kind of introducing idols there a lot more to them, I think, because I get along with their owner really well. And so we did this show as like bands and idols, but every one of the bands or whatever, they're insane. And so he did like an idol version of the band, like girls that are like considered idols, I guess, but they're so dark and evil and crazy. And so basically, it was almost time for this one group to go on, the innocent group. We'll call them the innocent group. And the evil group was these two girls that were on stage, and basically were wearing suspenders, nothing else, pretty much nothing else, maybe a skirt. It didn't stay on very long, and stuff to cover, very much only what the bare minimum could be covered in this area. And they were, you know, playing badminton on stage and like going crazy and just having fun and just singing and doing. To my surprise, their songs are actually good, and I was enjoying them. But then it just got crazy at one point. The girls that are waiting to go on, they're in the back of the venue because there's no like backstage down in this area. Like the backstage is outside. And you have to go up steps to another place. So they're waiting to go on, and these girls start getting off the stage and start going over to people and doing stuff to them. And the one girl just took everything off basically, and she's just in her underwear, like what little there was. She took the youngest member of this group, put her against the wall, kabedoned her, and basically did everything you can imagine to this poor girl who has this look of horror on her face. And I was thinking, man, this evil idol definitely has the worst costume of the year in the eyes of the innocent idol, because it's like there was no separation between this girl's body and the innocent girl, you know? And it was, I mean, me personally, I was laughing to the point of tears. I was enjoying every horrifying moment of it, because like this girl was like, it was so bad, it was good. Afterwards, the group was very mad at me. They yelled at me, but we're really cool. We're like super tight, so it was kind of funny. Like now we laugh about, we're joking about it, but it was like they're like, Derek, you didn't tell us there's gonna be nude performers. Don't ever book us with a group with nude performers again. I'm like, yeah, no worries, I gotcha. But it's just funny because it was this youngest girl, and this girl, and by the way, the girl that was doing this, she's so drunk she can't even stand up. Oh, wow. And it's just like just doing this, and it's just so insane. And again, I love extreme stuff. I like shocking stuff. That, believe it or not, that isn't even my most shocking story I'm going to talk about. But it's like watching that, I really did think that at the moment. I'm not just saying it because we're doing this category. I was thinking, man, this poor girl is thinking, I wish you had a better costume. I wish you had a costume. So, oh wow. Tangential story, funny story. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. It was great. So I felt so bad for the girl. I was like, oh, kawaii. But she was alright. She was fine afterwards. It was just funny, I guess.
No, it's under the category just another Friday.
Yeah, another day at the office. Whoa, what the? Another day at the
office. Recently, with those stories.
Yeah. Recently, my life has been this. Yeah, it's been insane.
You can never say nothing ever unremarkable, boring, uninteresting happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like twice a day, just after breakfast and just before dinner, you're like, what the F?
Yeah.
Like, really stop with everything. Like you don't blink, you don't breathe, you're like,
yeah.
Wow. You know, that kind of that. Not boring at all.
Yeah, well, it was something
worst
else.
Costume story, anyway. Kind of like Best Year Idol group. What I had, it fits well enough. It's a story that I'll remember and I don't want to think about.
Yeah, basically, that's about it. Yeah.
Very weird.
Same here.
There's only that on the tip of my tongue kind of thing, but nothing more. I don't want to think what I'm looking for. Kind of that fun.
There we go. Awesome.
I believe that was everyone. Now I'm kind of forgetting.
Yeah, I think everyone. Yeah.
I think so. Best costume. That's not, hopefully there won't be any crazy things.
No, it's
exactly. Got it.
We need a category to take a breather.
Yeah, exactly. So that was quite the story actually. But yeah, continuing on with best costumes. Yeah, lots of songs. We had worst costumes or plain costumes, but also we had songs where the costumes stood out for everyone. So I would say, Colin, what costumes did stood out for you, or do you consider the best costume?
So the funny thing is, I had two ones that came to mind, and then the funny thing about it is that they came to mind before I realized what costumes they were. If that makes sense. For like the two groups that I'm thinking of, those were the first two ones, but that was before I realized the actual costumes. But the one that I picked is from Team Message, their original song, which I found too difficult to translate. I don't want to butcher it.
Sound chilling.
But it was that, yeah, it was that original song, those costumes, and the funny, because I think they look really nice, really pretty, black, with some golden aesthetics to it, or yellow, maybe one of the two. I really liked it. And then the funny thing is, the other one was Miru's graduation song, which is the exact same style of costume, black and gold, with yellow, and then gold and yellow. And it's like, I did not realize this. I thought of those two, and then I was like, oh yeah, they're kind of similar, which is weird. I did not realize it. I really like this aesthetic. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it is funny enough one that I realized, yeah, I do like a black-white-ish aesthetic, but yellow-golden kind of balances that out too. I think they're very pretty, particularly with Miru's one, just to quickly say that, hers specifically, I really liked. Whereas with Team SH, they all had pretty much the exact same outfit. And it's just a cool outfit. I really think it fit that song in particular. Just a weird, maybe a weird way to say cool, but I think it's cool. Song with that costume that fits is both cool and beautiful, but maybe a little bit more beautiful. But that's the one that I picked because it just I felt before I realized, oh wait, those two are similar. Yeah.
That explains it. Yeah.
It's already before I realized I like it. It comes naturally, apparently.
Oh wow.
That was just a funny little thing about that.
Thanks. That was actually a nice choice. But Nette, how about you?
I was really happy with my choice. Since I saw it, I was like, this is gonna be it. No one's gonna compete with it. And then AKB came with a pretty strong contender in December. So I have 2 costumes that I really, really like this year. And it's the Grand Record Award costume that AKB used, the white one.
Oh, the white one, yeah.
This is really pretty.
I've seen it, yeah.
And it looked so good on everyone, and the variations on it. But I think the #1 costume that's been on top of my list since it came out is the Mali costume.
Yeah.
I really like
Costume's awesome.
Yep.
It is.
Awesome. Yeah.
I like all the variations of the costume, from the center costume to the ones in the back row. I really like the accessories they've done with it. And just when you look at the design drawings for it, it's just everything about that costume says idol to me. It says CGM to me, and it's so pretty. I kind of want to wear one because
mix it all together. Yeah.
It is. It's just so pretty. It matches the song so well. There's so much thought that's gone into it, and yeah, it has to be the best costume of the year.
Nice.
Nice. Good. How about you, Maru?
For me, like Mette mentioned, AKB has had, I think, a lot of really pretty costumes for Nemohamaruma.
Yeah.
And my favorite, personally, would be, at one point they were wearing these, I think it was like made out of canvas costumes. And of course, everybody aside from Nana was wearing skirts, and Nana was wearing pants.
Oh yeah.
Which is a detail I very much adore. It's a very good way to have the center stand out from the others, and it suits Nana really damn well. And it was these like greenish, I think, like
with the countdown costume. It's green with the long pants.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe, and because it has this like very slight, almost military-ish look to it, but not quite. And there's something about it that I just really, really adore. Like from the first time I saw Hitom in it, I was like, yes, this costume. This one.
The fun thing, yeah. I remember also with before she graduated, Team H she always had a headband on her. And if she wouldn't have graduated, that would have been her trademark item. Definitely, 100%.
Oh yeah.
But continuing on with best costume, Ruka, have you any thoughts about it?
Okay, so I kind of briefly touched about them when I was talking about it before, but PIXY, specifically their debut outfits for their debut single Wings, which I'll show you. I love the look of these outfits.
I like cool.
It. Again,
cool.
it's
Yeah, I like it too.
For Wings, where it's more
definitely.
dark horror kind of gothic concept, because they do have kind of a darker horror take on, like, you know, you think like Pixies, oh fairies, like Tinkerbell, like that, it's gonna be cute. No, they go dark with this, and especially like this dark purple. They have other variations of this costume too, but like the dark purple with like the lacy parts, and again short skirts, so it's like very practical, good for them to perform on stage, and like the black accessories, the black corsets, the jewelry, the silver chains. It just all looks so good, and I think it suits them so well, especially because I don't think you can actually see it because of the quality of this picture, but they're wearing these, like, you know those things like people put on like their fingers where it looks like they have claws? They wear that, and they use that to perform on stage. So like there are parts where it's like they look like they're like scratching onto their backs because like it's kind of part of their whole worldview, because they have like a worldview, a lore kind of thing, but they're pixies who don't have wings. They're searching for their wings in like some of their music videos. So it's like when it's like parts of the choreo where they're like, you know, scratching their backs where their wings would be. It's like, it looks really, really cool. So I love that. But also I do have as an honorable mention, because there's another outfit or another song that they have called The Moon that I really, really like, which again, you kind of see the picture I'm showing you. It's like very simple, you know, these like suits with like the long baggy pants, the big oversized jackets, and like some.
That's good.
And like it's like very simple design, but it like again, it looks so cool and it fits with their concept. And the moon doesn't have like some. It doesn't really have like crazy, you know, moving around choreography. So it's like it wouldn't get in the way, but they get really creative with it, especially with the jackets, because they use the jackets in part of the choreography. Like there's one part where one of the members, she takes off her jacket, 2 other members grab onto the sleeves, and she like leans back into the jacket, and so they're kind of hanging on it while the other 2 are holding it, kind of like swinging her around. And then as she goes back to take it on, there's a part where they like take it off, they throw it up or swing it around and then put it back on, and it looks so smooth and so cool. I absolutely loved that part of the
very
choreo.
cool.
Yeah, when it's done well, I can imagine,
indeed.
Yes, very, very cool. That's why it's like, so between these 2, yeah, I really, really liked these outfits from PIXY.
Oh wow, this is a really good pick, yeah. So it's more like I didn't know, I wasn't looking into the costumes a lot, but now that you have explained all the details about it, yeah, I really like it, yeah. So good pick.
And like again, this is just for like their debut single and one of their B-sides. Their other outfits too are like, they all are so cool, like especially for fitting with like with the concept of the songs and stuff like that. It's really, really cool.
Awesome. And last up, Derek.
Yeah, right. So this one was probably the easiest one for me to think about. So I did a photo book for Matcha Latte Reku, who is a very, very popular idol in the idol group called 15 Germ Ace. And she's also a Gravier idol. She does solo stuff. She's in another group as well. But she's very popular here. She's also a photographer. She just does a lot of stuff. And I had agreed to do a photo book with her in March. Then by the time we actually got around to doing it, it was in the summer, and the editing took a long time as well, because this was definitely my opus. Her photo book, in order to make it work, there was the first part of it before we got into all the Gravier stuff, because it's pretty much divided in between this costume I'm about to talk about and all the Gravier stuff that I did with her. For the costume, I asked this foreign idol fan, her name's Rosie, who's actually from the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah, I know who she is. Yeah, I follow her on Twitter. Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, Rosie, I asked Rosie to make me a costume, and she worked her butt off on it. After I gave her, like, Matcha's sizes and stuff, she made an absolutely unbelievable costume. And basically what it is like, I wanted Matcha, for the first half of the book, to pretend she was a jellyfish princess, and like literally a jellyfish with human legs. And so she made a costume where the top is this like blue mesh, or I don't think the word mesh is right, skin tight, like ocean blue color, so it looks like she doesn't have a top.
Yeah.
For her hair, Matcha's like charm point is she has twin tails. She always wears twin tails, and so I had for her twin tail like wrappings, jellyfish. So they look like they were big buns with like long streamers that look like tentacles.
Oh, okay.
And then for her skirt, it looked like the like a actual like moon jelly, and she just did a fantastic job. The first half of the photo book, I can't take my eyes off this costume because, well, first of all, it fit Matcha perfectly. Rosie could not have made a better costume. Second of all, it's just the way my photographer Izumi-san was able to capture the lights and everything off it. It was exactly how I envisioned it in my head. I just didn't think... It never happens, like, I have it here in my head, and then for it to actually get on the paper exactly how I have it, it's rare. This is one of the cases where it superseded what I wanted, and it's all because of that costume. So I hope people will check out that photo book. It'll be coming out this month, actually. It's, it's Matcha Latte Riku's very first photo book, surprisingly. I had the honor to do her very first photo book, considering how photogenic she is, how much you go to her Twitter, it's every shot is, she's done photos with a lot of different artists and people, but I'm the very first one that did her photo book, and it's basically the stories of a jellyfish princess, and it's an absolutely crazy story. But I also have Japanese and English translated in the story within the book, so yeah, pick it up if you can. Shameless promotion. But honestly, I do really love that costume because it was made from here, from Rosie's heart, and she just did a fantastic job. It's unbelievable. So
awesome.
Sounds very creative.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool too.
Exactly. For my personal pick for best costume, I'm going on a bit back to the 48 group for this one, but I really like the costumes BNK made for their version of Varota people. I really like the cyber / video games aesthetic of it, and even when you watch the MV itself, it felt like it was gamery style, future style. So, and for me, then the costumes with the blue and the pink, it really stood out to me. And for some reason, I quite liked it. And normally, everybody knows Varota people, but I really like how they made the MV for it. And for me, that's the best costume for this year, I would say. So, but
nice.
But for the rest, yeah, the rest is. There was none for me. The costumes were either passable but not worst, or really good for me this year. So I think all in all, I would say overall it was a pretty good year for costumes, I think. But yeah. So from here on out, we're going to go for the most shocking moments. So Colin?
Okay, so for our fifth category, we are halfway. That deserves a clap.
Hey.
That wasn't very bad, sorry. That's better.
Hey.
Most shocking moment or event or thing. I'm making it rather vague because it's one of those things you can kind of take in
exactly.
different ways. So let's just hear it. Andi, what's your most shocking event?
Well, for me the most shocking event was actually the announcement of the disbandment of SKEvolution. Because the last time I saw a 48 group disband was like SDN, Saturday Night 48 basically. And after that, basically everyone, no matter the state of the group, how bad or how good it was, they kept alive. But seeing the disbandment of Saigon 48 was a big shock for me actually, because it's been a long time since we had a 48 group disband. So yeah, I would say that's the most shocking for me.
No, go ahead, sorry.
For me, SG expanding wasn't so much surprising, then it was just really, really sad. Because I was expecting, like, coronavirus is gonna take one of the group's victims. Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be SGO, but you know.
Yeah, no, it's a fair assumption, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Still.
Though the funny thing is, I had two things that came to mind. The only thing that I wouldn't say were shocking, but surprising a lot, and my one was SGO's disbandment.
Yeah.
For actually those same reasons, like, okay, like kind of funny thing that Maria said that I also had a feeling like early on, I say after 3 months with Corona, I had a feeling where one group I could see like being done because in part of Corona, which could have been also Team TP, but SGO as well, because they were so young in terms of group length. You know, just recently they just had to needed to build up, getting really more popular. So to say to see them disband early, though not entirely surprising, because I wouldn't say they were that popular, but I never really got the clear picture with that. But the sense that a 48 group, even though I saw it happening one way or another sooner or later, it's still surprising to see SGO that had a few good things about that I liked. Not enough to really follow them, but there were some things where I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this. To see it happening is like, it's very unfortunate. But, and this is a completely other thing, I did hear or see on Twitter that a SGO girl applied for the HKT edition.
Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows.
She knows.
So, who knows? We also will be getting a new AKB generation. Seeing that with the one SGO member, maybe they will come. Who knows what will happen?
So.
It's possible.
Has been learning Japanese for a while, and she's motivated enough to go to Japan to join a 48 group. So, someone just take her into your group. She will be a good member for you in the future.
Yes. And Sunny take mochi alongside you.
Yeah.
Sunny take mochi with you.
So that is something we can look forward to. Maybe it will happen. I hope that would be cool. I got a little, when you said that, I got a little bit of the impression with Machorin, where it kind of maybe similar, you know, moving to another country, become a part of that. So it could work. I could see it would be fun. I would like it. But still, the disbandment I did have as a surprise. The other one I'll allude to very quickly is the shuffle. Just for the sheer amount of that I didn't want the shuffle to happen because I was so satisfied with the groups, how they were, where the individual members were, and the fact that the new setups, I'm not leaning towards a specific group, so that was an unfortunate thing for me. But I hope that will come turn around. I hope someone else has something more interesting than that. Ruka, do you have a shocking thing that you were like, oh, MG, what is this? This is not happening.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, and I'm sure you guys can share my sentiment with it, but basically what I chose for me was basically just IZ*ONE's disbandment.
Yeah.
More so shocking because of the way that it all went down in the end.
Yeah, it was,
because, you know, I think we can all agree, we were all kind of expecting, like, oh, we're probably gonna get a few more months, maybe they might release one final album, talk about maybe getting an extension, so maybe they can stick around a bit longer, and then the company was just like, nope. After this final concert, they're just done. We're done. And then everyone was just like, collectively screamed.
Well, that's the thing. They were talking extensions, and most of the members' companies were for the extension. It was like 2 or maybe 3 companies that didn't want it, due to which it couldn't happen. Like, IZ*ONE's company was all for an extension. IZ*ONE's company was like, let's stay as a permanent group even. And a lot of the companies involved were really down for that. But some of the companies could Starship.
Definitely.
You kind of need to have everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
and
it was apparently they pulled out like last minute, so that's why the concert was so not final, because everybody was operating on the belief that there will be an extension. Only for it to turn out last minute, there won't be.
Yay!
Exactly, and
Makes
that's
sense.
that's the most devastating part for me, because all of us were expecting, you know, that we were gonna have a bit more time with these girls before we would say our final goodbyes to them, and that once we did get to that point, yeah, it'd be sad, but you know, like it'd be like we would, you know, we'd be able to, you know, send them off, but because it was like so last minute and they pulled the rug out from under us, it became that much more devastating and heartbreaking.
Yeah, yep.
Like, literally, when I did my reaction to the music video that they did for their song Parallel Universe, when I saw that, I spent 3 minutes of the video just reacting to the music video, 9 minutes of the video crying over IZ*ONE afterwards, because I was that devastated.
Honestly, with that final concert, I remember me and Mette watched it together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Both days, actually. And, oh god, I remember watching it and crying. And it's like, it's even more heartbreaking because the 2 days had mostly the same set list. And it was just such a shame. It was such a shame.
The thought I had, and I really hate that, is that hope is great, but it can also be awful. In the way it was explained, where it was all last minute, and then it really sucks when it gets, the rug is thrown up and whoop-a-gay!
Oh, yeah.
It's a very, it feels like a screw you moment. It makes, it sucks.
Yeah,
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Yeah. I mean, silver lining to it all is that all the girls are, you know, off doing their own activities and everyone seems to be doing it. I'm so excited, by the way, because next week Yenna is having her solo debut. I'm so excited for that. Lee Chaeyeon recently had her birthday, so happy belated birthday to her. And, you know, obviously stuff like with Starship, you kind of mentioned them, but Woonyoung and Yujin part of their own group now, which is really nice. It's kind of nice to see them like kind of being the leader figures to these new generations of girls that they're working with. So, you know, all in all, a silver lining to that is that the girls are, you know, still keeping in touch with each other and they're all doing well, but
that's nice.
Yeah, just that was really sad that happened that way.
Yeah. For sure.
Agreed. Maria.
I have a happy shocking moment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, I'm gonna stay in K-pop because Ruka mentioned 17 before, and Meta will know. For like the past year, I was agonizing over, will 17 renew their contracts? If they will, how will it go down? Oh god, I am terrified. And I was very pleased to find out they're all staying together. Nobody left.
Oh wow. Hey, nice.
The total opposite.
It was like my best case scenario is they leave the company they're currently in, but stay all together. They ended up staying in the company, but you know, I cannot complain too much. They all stayed together, which it's like in K-pop it's called the 7-year curse, because contracts are 7 years long. They are going to disband after 7 years essentially. That's the curse. And 17 broke that curse. They didn't even have anybody leave, and they have 2 Chinese members, which is even more insane that the Chinese members didn't leave. Like, in K-pop, Chinese members have the reputation of not even waiting until the contract ends. They will be out of there, you know, in 3-4 years. Meanwhile, the Chinese members of 17 stayed the full time and renewed, which, oh my god. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow.
Really good. Happy, shocking.
That makes me happy too, especially because I recently got into them, and I have had a pattern where there are some groups that I've gotten into, like G-Friend, for example. I got into them, and then they disbanded, and then like this year I started checking out Lovelyz because I like checked out their latest, you know, which turned out to be their last because they disbanded also this year. So I was like, crap. But
wow.
That does make me happy that like 17 did renew all their contracts. So yeah.
But talking a bit about G-Friend's goddamn disbandment, their company is Hybe, the company BTS is under, and G-Friend wanted to renew. G-Friend wanted to renew, and Hybe was straight up like, nope, get out of it.
Jeez, wow, what the heck?
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sakura's in that company now.
Yeah.
Sakura's in that company now. Yay.
Ooh.
And some fans actually think Hybe is going to be really nice to their girl groups and won't hate women like most K-pop companies. Which
hopefully
had precisely 2 girl groups. One group that ended in a criminal mess. AKA one of the members got caught blackmailing an actor.
What? What?
Jeez.
What?
And after that scandal, the group disbanded.
Jeez.
I hope so.
Oh, what the heck?
That Hybe forcefully disbanded, so I do not have high hopes for Sakura and Chaewon's new group to be treated very well, because Hybe does not have a good
track record, yeah.
Girl groups.
That makes sense.
Whoa, what the?
Yeah.
Also never boring.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's weird. The criminal activity, it's like, oh yeah, she's blackmailing them. Just
that escalated quickly. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
That went a little. That went a little overboard.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
So, Mata, do you have something that's a little bit easier breather? Something a little bit more, maybe a bit more sane, you know?
I don't know if you can call it sane, but you know, imagine you're watching a concert and your favorite member is graduating. It's this big thing, and you know it was someone's birthday not so long before. So you watch a little bit of that live stream, looking like everything was okay. You thought they were in Bangkok with the other members, and then you know you're watching this concert. Everyone's doing great, and then there's the first MC section. And suddenly someone just runs out on stage yelling, "Dan!" So
what?
appearing at Yukin's AdCon was like, did I just... Excuse me?
You're not supposed to be in that country. What are you doing?
Oh, when?
How? Like I said, teleportation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that moment was so much fun. And like she was on the IM app like the day before, 2 days before streaming, and I looked at like a couple of minutes, thinking like wishing her happy birthday, and I didn't really pay attention to the background because you know, who does?
Yeah.
But apparently she was sitting in like the hotel room toilet or something to hide that she was in a different place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she keeps like thinking, okay, well she's done with the grad con now, so she's gonna be with her family, you know, take some time to be home, and then go back. And then she shows up at Yurihan's last stage centering a unit song.
That is unbelievably awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, where do you get the energy? And she spent so much time promoting CGM to everyone.
Yep.
That MC she did, talking about CGM. She was on Nakanishi Shori's YouTube channel, talking about CGM, giving her CGM clothes and merch and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to happen. It was the most funny, shocking moment of the year to me.
Nice.
Great balance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god.
Izurina has her priorities straight. She was like, I will come, but I will make everything about CGM.
I will plug them. I will plug them. You can't blame me, but I will plug them. Basically, that's what that's the feeling I got.
They are first and foremost. I'm not here. I will have them in front of me in spirit before I come on.
Me and Meta,
CGM first.
Me and Meta have joked about like the Japanese 48 groups like stealing members of BNK or CGM like for themselves.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Izurina made it clear nobody is stealing me. Like, you cannot get me back.
Yep. Good try. Good try.
I'm here.
Good job.
Because she's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, you let me go, and you're not getting me back. Like, here's a taste.
Bye.
But you're not getting me back.
I come back for my friends. Still talk about CGM though. I come back for my friends.
Like she even said that when she was in meetings and stuff, when she met people in the entertainment industry, it was like first, hey, you know what? You should consider CGM for stuff. Think of us. If you want to do something like that, think of us.
Wow.
She's like manager, producer, advertiser for them. She would come on your birthday, and it is a CGM gift. Here's a CGM gift.
Honestly, that is what I love about CGM so much, because I have said before, in my opinion, CGM is the strongest of all the 48 groups. Like, as far as, like, in theory, they are the strongest, because they all work so hard to get popular. They all put in the hours, and they all want it. Like, they have clear-cut high goals that they are working towards very actively. Just like Izurina, just going up to people in the industry and asking to be cast. And that is so amazing. Because otherwise you leave it all to the mercy of the management, essentially. And and this way you are taking some of that control for yourself, and you know, you have a bit more control over your own fate that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. We still have one last person to talk about the category. I almost was like, we can't go to the next one just because of the insanity for like, oh, it's very sad but very happy. And I almost forgot Derek the last time, and that was awful. But now I won't. So Derek, shocking. Is it a funny story?
We're all scared.
I hope you won't disappoint.
We're all scared.
Yeah,
so it's more of a collabo moment of what I witnessed. I mean, I've had a crazy year with Idol since Miho's been doing her own stuff. I've just been exposed to a lot of different idol groups, but again, to go with Tokyo PN, we play a lot with them, and so I just, every time they do shocking things to the point where I'm just like I my jaw's on the floor, and I've seen a lot in all the years I've been here doing idol stuff, but like, just to give you some ideas, so like we were at one show, and this is all actually leading up to the biggest one, which like was on Christmas night, but you know, again, regularly when they perform, some of the members sometimes show up, sometimes they don't. A lot of times they're hungover or drunk or getting drunk or in the process of drinking and trying to get drunk.
Wow.
It escalates. It escalates from there. If the fans are particularly crazy, they match that craziness. At one point, though, like, you know, me and Miho, we're just standing there watching, you know, we're enjoying. And like, out of nowhere, we hear Miho's song Good Day, and they totally trolled us and started doing her song on stage. And we're just like, what? And they didn't tell us they were going to do this. And I still don't even know how they got the song. But, like, they figured out how to do it, and then they grabbed Miho, made her get up there and try to sing with them, and that was like, okay, that's pretty shocking, because it was like, it's a big honor when a group does that, but they usually tell you ahead of time they're going to do it. When they just trolled us and did it, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Surprise!
Surprise! Their one girl, Maiso, is insane. Maiso, really, she's the youngest member. She's the one that got like knocked out by the other girl, but Maiso tends to go really nuts, just randomly, like there's no rhyme to it, but she one point like had gone out into the crowd and she laid down in the middle of the floor and she started untying everybody's shoes, and then somebody went over and untied her shoes and then started using it as a microphone. One of the girls picked up, started pretending it was a microphone, singing into her shoe. Well, another shoe got whipped across the room. Then next thing I know, shoes are just flying everywhere because everybody's shoes are thrown everywhere. Then at one point, Maiso starts like hitting people in the legs, and then she just lays there and then passes out. And she's literally just passed out there, and there's like drool coming out of her mouth. And then it's just like, the other girl's jumping in the air, and then the one girl, then Maiso got up after one point, and she ran directly at a fan and, like, went to go drop kick him, but the fan caught her, and so, like, in midair he catches her, and then he's, like, holding her up in the air and spinning her around while she's singing, or trying to sing.
Yeah.
What?
At some point, a couple of the girls are on the stage while this is all going on. One girl's doing like gymnastic flips. Another couple of girls are doing tumble rolls on the ground because there's like 6 of them. Another girl's just in the corner. Her back's to everybody. She's crouched down checking her phone, and she's on her phone doing like line. And then it's just like, what is going on? And it's just like, I don't know. And then their leader, Mayana, is my favorite. She always comes over like, messes with me in like the worst possible way, and I guess I can't say the words I want to use because I don't want this to get banned.
Yeah.
But basically, it's this big joke because Miho was like trying to get you. She's like, "Oh, you like her, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she's really pretty." And then so now she won't let it go, and so every time she tries to like get like this close to my face and like harass me or do that stuff, and she was really, really drunk on Christmas Eve, and I mean to the point where she literally, the Gakia door opened and she crawled on the stage and just kind of laid there, and then she kind of got up and sort of performed, but then we had to do Buppon in another building, right? And so she literally crawled into the room and just basically for most of the Buppon laid there. At one point, Miho like went over, was like, "Are you all right?" Was like trying to help her, and then at one point she gets up and she runs over to me and she just like lays on me and she like grabs and hugs me and she's like, "I love you, Derek," and then she just like passes out on my arms, and I'm trying to take pictures of Miho with her fans while I'm holding my Mayana in my arm, and it's just like, and then she didn't remember any of it. Next day she's like, "What did I do?" Yeah, it's just like at one point too, Hyoko, like their manager, he went missing for a while, and just they didn't have a manager, and then he came back and it was all good, and then he gets on stage and then he's like singing and doing stuff and he gets real hardcore and punk about it, and then like for the last show that they did for me at Heaven's Door, they did a no bra set where all the girls didn't wear bras, and so they had on like these big baggy shirts, but then like they started to like just grab each other over and over and over and over again, and they were like comparing each other's sizes, and the one girl she's like kind of a grab-your idol sort of, and she has kind of like bigger boobs, and then the other girls really don't, and so it's like they were just comparing each other's boobs, and at one point they take condoms out and they're blowing up the condoms and they're throwing them at the fans and they're playing like air balloon with the condoms. And then one of the girls puts one of the condom balloons up Maya's shirt. The other, so Maya they blow up another one. They blow it up. So she looks like she has giant boobs. And then they just start like playing with them. And then Maya just falls back over. And for one whole song, she just laughs. She doesn't sing. She's just sitting there laughing in the mic hysterically. Then one of the girls lays on her lap. She gets up. She like bounces the balloon boobs, condom balloon boobs on her head. And then the girl sometimes sings. And then that set, they did like the same song like 7 times or something. They didn't even play any other songs. They did it 7 times.
I think we all had an identical face all throughout this, just like
yeah.
What the heck was going on?
Yeah.
It cannot be tough.
And I just come back and that's the first thing I hear.
Believe me, Ruka, believe me, it does not make more sense.
Yeah.
You were here the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll hear it once the full episode comes out. I probably won't understand, but I'll hear the start of the conversation.
The origin of condom balloon boobs, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't think they understand what they're doing, but it's just like, oh, and then one last thing, and so like for that one with the condom balloons, like while the members are on stage, and again they're rolling around, they're just doing weird stuff. They're you know, their manager Yoko's son, he gets up on the stage and he's singing, and then there was a fan in the audience, this bigger, older white guy actually. Everybody calls him Grandpa. He's wearing a Borat green mankini. And so he gets so this guy, so Hyoko-san goes over to him and is like singing in his you know what, and then they're like taking the mankini and it's like they're like hitting the straps. Then he jumps on. Then he jumps on the table. Hyoko-chan jumps on the table, and then he pulls his pants off, and he's wearing the brightest pink boxers you could ever see, as tight as you can humanly imagine. And I can't say the rest because it's too X-rated. But let's just say this. He, at one point, jumps into the crowd. There really wasn't a crowd, so it was like 3 fans holding him upside down. I'm filming. He asked me to film, so I'm filming, and I have my camera like right in his face and in his other parts. And then it was just like nothing happened afterwards. They were just cool. Like, then they just went and ate food. And that was the most shocking thing I think I mean, it was shocking for me, and I've seen a lot. I mean, but that was... Wow. It's like every time I see them, I just never know what's going to happen. And I like that feeling of excitement of they can play the same song 6 times, 7 times. It's somehow interesting every single time. Because they just keep getting more and more weirder with what they're doing. And it just works. It works for them. Like, it's their thing. Like, believe it or not, they actually do have good songs. Like, their songs aren't bad at all. Like, it's just... Sometimes they just decide they're more interested in other stuff. That to me is very shocking. Even in the Chica Idol world, that's like, whoa, like, I don't know. So that's definitely my story for that.
That was a lot.
That was a lot to take in. Wow.
Yeah, we still have 3 categories to go.
Yeah.
It's just another Friday, basically.
I'm not going with the office joke because, yeah.
Oh. Here DX comes, it's like, oh yeah, hold my beer. Crikey, okay. I think that was everyone again. We still have 3 categories. Be surprised if I blank out for a second and be like, what's happening? Where am I? What am I doing? I think we have some fun and for best performance. DX.
Well, that was interesting segue from that performance to the actual category of best performance. But if I have to say a performance, not necessarily a live in particular, but when I first saw the live performance of Nemahama Rumor, one part of it impressed me, and that was the World Order style hand movement part they did during the performance. That hand movement part was like really like World Order. Like super synchronized, and that impressed me the most, and that's the part I look forward to every time I see the live version of Nemahama Rumor.
Yeah. Also, Nemahama Rumor overall, it's like the more they perform it, the more synchronized they get.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing. Thank you, Hitomi. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to the performance they did that Noro Kayo was in. Like, holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was really good.
It was fun.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Sorry,
yeah.
If we're not being quite as enthusiastic as in the beginning of the episode.
Well, we've had to experience a few things.
Yeah. Yeah, we know a few more things than we did a few hours ago.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. But yeah, that was my pick for best performance. How about you, Colin?
So, I picked something probably not surprising. I would not even be surprised if this is the pick that more than 2 people have, or like many people will have it. Maybe not, we'll see. But for me, I never thought about this. I never considered anything else. Not because there wasn't anything bad, but I knew. It's like, my name is Colin. It makes sense. It's the JKT New Era special.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Only today. And Fushidara Nanatsu. Wow. I mean, we went on and on about it when it came out. It's like, this is just great. It has, even the things that I did not like about it did not matter a single bit, because it was so awesome, coming from a group, not to say in a negative way that you wouldn't expect it, but it's like, just wow that there can be something released in a year where it was a little bit and you'll be like, wow, fantastic, wow, where's the award? Where are the Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, everything here? Become an EGOT right away. I absolutely loved it. It was great. Played it very much. Christmas, I focus on Christmas music, but it's such a great performance. It was so great. We talked about it, how great it was, so that I don't need to say more. Just easy pick for me.
Awesome pick though, because basically that performance put JKT48 back onto our roadmap, I would say, because they were a bit off the radar for a bit. So yeah, really good pick.
Yeah.
How about you, Mara? Oh, sorry.
For me, I would say I have 2 picks, and they both have one thing in common.
Oh.
And that is my Sakura Sakoshi, Masumoto Kira. Honestly, I should be calling her my Kamiyoshi by this point, because that's honestly what she is, but you know,
why not?
Semantics.
Yeah, why not, yeah.
Sakura Saka has been doing this thing Backs Live, where they have all the back row members of their songs perform, and only the back row members. And all of them get to center a song, and they've now had 2 Backs Lives, which means Kira has centered 2 songs, Buddies and Omotayori, and I cannot pick between them, but Kira is... I understand why she isn't in the main Senbatsu. I understand why she can't center a song in reality, because she is one of the weakest dancers in the group. She's one of the weakest singers in the group, and Omotayori has a rap part as well, and she's not great at rapping either.
Oh boy.
What she has is a goddamn smile. Like, when she is performing, you can tell how much fun she's having, how goddamn happy she is to be there. And it all gets amplified because you hear stories about how hard she tries. Sure, she isn't good at dancing. Sure, she isn't good at singing. But she tries so hard. She practices really hard. Like, there are so many stories of when impromptu dance lessons would happen in corridors because others would see Kira practicing and they would be like, I'll go help. She's working so hard, I'll go help. And then others join in and it'll just turn into a huge practice session. And Kira is just so goddamn sweet and pure and deserves the world. And so her performances of Buddies and Omotayori are my best performances, because sure, technically might not be the best, but I enjoyed it the most due to her wonderful smile.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, wow. Gonna have to look it up. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Really good choice. Really like it. So I'm gonna have to look that one up. Thanks for that.
I'm liking that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Meta has had to suffer through me gushing about Kira.
Why am I not surprised there?
I'm talking to Meta all the goddamn time.
Well, surprise! So, Meta, how about you?
So, again, like it's been a difficult year for performances in general, but I found 2 that I'm I really enjoy watching, and one that's an honorable mention.
Huh?
Because it's difficult to pick, okay, for some of these. But my honorable mention is the first performance of A in Pressure, because JJ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, watching JJ in her first Senbatsu after everything, how could I not love that performance? But my main picks is, the first one is a performance video from BNK with Dia. It's not a straight up performance video where they're standing still and performing the song. They're doing it where a camera is taking them around like a building and performing in different spots, and I think that is sort of fun performance from them for that song, that more people should watch it. But my other pick is CGM's first performance on T-pop stage, where they got to perform both the traditional dance section of Mali, where they have like the drums, the costumes, doing the traditional dancing, and then getting to do Mali and being on TV, getting a lot more attention. That performance, everyone was shining throughout the whole thing, looking so great, getting everything down, being synchronized, having fun most of all. It's just, it stands out so much in this year. And they look amazing performing when they're having fun.
Wow.
I might have ranted about it to Maria.
Maybe, kinda.
I was trying to figure out how to vote for T-Pops. When they tried getting them on that show, that was a whole campaign from fans trying to convince people to let them on the show. And when it finally happens, that payoff is an amazing feeling.
Yeah. And on that also, like, I always mention gushing to Meta about it, but believe me, Meta is no better than me.
You wouldn't expect it, but yeah.
Well, it's not. I don't bring it up as often.
That might be the case.
It's fine.
But yeah, I admit it. I talk a lot about BNK and CGM. I'm surprised.
Oh yeah.
He's in love.
Oh.
With idols. With idols.
Oh god.
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah, true. That's basically why we just created this whole podcast into the way back. So yeah. But really, a really good choice as well. So really good
check
choice.
out the performances. They're out on YouTube. So
yes. Ruka, what do you have to? What do you have chosen?
Okay, so I have talking about PIXY again because I love them and I'm gonna keep gushing about them. Their song, literally I could have picked any song from them because all of their songs, all of the choreos that they've come up with are so cool. Like there's like one standout moment in at least each and every song that is like, whoa, what? It's like, because they're like doing stuff that like you wouldn't think to see from like a girl group, more or less a rookie group. Like literally one of the openings to one of their songs for like their first comeback, Let Me Know, it literally opens with one of the girls, they're holding up this one girl by their feet, so it's all the members on the ground and their feet up and they're holding this one girl. That's how they open one of their songs, but yeah.
Wow.
But the one that I picked, it's not that one, but it's a more recent one, Bewitched, because I'll be honest, Temptation is a really good mini album. All of the songs were really good from that, but Bewitched was like one of the B-sides. They promoted it alongside the title track for that album. But Bewitched is, again, such a cool and dark concept for them. Especially, like, there are so many parts where it's like, it looks very, you know, graceful. There are parts where they're like kind of going in like slow, they're like moving slow, but then it can be like really sharp, really powerful. And then also there's a bit of that creep fact because there's a lot of like ways they're like kind of twisting their bodies, you know, and you know, turning certain points of their body. There's literally one part during like the first chorus where they lay on the ground and they arch their backs up, kind of like something out of The Exorcist. And it's like,
well, what the?
It looks so creepy and so awesome at the same time. Like, literally, these girls have constantly been blowing me away with, like, how much more creative can they get? How can they keep upping themselves with these awesome choreos one by one, and they're still rookies? Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I want to check them out.
Rookies.
Yeah.
They're not even a full year old yet.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
That's wow. Oh.
Plus the song is just really good as well, especially because there's like parts where like there's like parts towards the end where like the audio kind of gets distorted, so it sounds really, really creepy.
Nice.
Wow, really need to check them out since they've been on your mind a lot actually. So it seems wow.
Oh
I'd
yeah,
say a
and
little,
I'm
yeah.
not done yet.
Nice.
Really,
Wait,
yeah, really,
wait.
yeah.
If this is just the beginning, then
Yeah, exactly.
who knows where we'll go from here?
Exactly. Once
Or
they
start, you know.
Yeah, once they yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
This is just their first year active
Yeah.
as a group. Like, it's gonna be so insane to think what could they do down the line.
Wow.
In the next 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Ruka, I have a question, Ruka. Do they seem solid as a group in terms of their friendships and their I mean, is there any
yeah,
indication of
definitely.
problems? No problems?
Like, the company is so good with managing them.
Yeah.
One of the members actually has been, like, pretty active with, like, helping with, like, all the worldview stuff like that. All the members, like, it seems like they're very close with their company. I remember there was one really funny instance where it was after they were doing this, like, they were doing one of the dance practices. I think it was for Bewitched. They did a special, like, Squid Games red light, green light version of it. And whoever the loser was had to be punished. So the punishment was, the member who got punished, Sapyeol, she did a duet with Ella where they sang the song Rewrite the Stars from The Greatest Showman. But Sapyeol wasn't singing. She was dubbed over with the voice of their producer.
Oh wow.
She was like acting out the man.
That's awesome.
She had like facial hair drawn in her face. It was so entertaining to watch.
I bet.
Wow.
Into it. Yeah, no,
Oh,
like,
that's
they're
awesome.
definitely
That's good.
solid. The members are all really close with each other, and the staff treat them really well. So yeah, I'd say they're a really solid group.
Oh,
That's
nice.
good. That's
Really,
good.
yeah. So I really have to look them up. But
Yeah.
yeah, after that story you told during the last topic, any best performance you have, Derek?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have like an honorable mention and a good one, but the honorable mention one, so I work for this group called IBEC, and their sister group Leiwan, and they consistently put on some of the greatest shows you're ever going to see in Idol. They have their own little microcosm within the Idol world where it's almost like one big family with their fans, staff, everything. I feel very honored to work with them. I've had some issues with some of their staff in the past, just not being so nice to me, but I've kind of worked that out. I think I'm good now with them. It's a very demanding situation every time, but I keep going back because IBEC always puts on just like one of the most premier things you're gonna see, and they have a song called Hello, and every time they sing that song, like I definitely cry. Like I definitely get misty-eyed, and I've heard it a million times. But there's something about the chorus. It's just one of the best choruses I've ever heard. It's definitely, if I had to make a list of top 10 most important, most amazing Idol songs, it would be in that list.
Wow. Okay.
It's just their producer Miyata-san's a genius, and he's written not just that, but he's written like 25 other Insta classics. It's definitely an Insta classic, and they're just one of those groups that like consistently every song they're just hitting you with like stuff you just can't even believe. But that song Hello really gets me, and it's just been super memorable because like Miyata-san had a birthday show for himself and everybody just gave him so much love for that show, and he was on stage performing with IBEC and Leiwan, and it was amazing to watch him up there. And he's so kind, you know, he's super kind to me, and just kind to everybody. But he's a very weird person. Like, you can't get more than 2 sentences out of him, but like he makes you still feel like you're loved. Like, he gave me a big hug for New Year's. I was like, oh my god, it's the first time a producer's ever touched me, like actually without me like making them feel weird by hitting them on the back or something. Because, you know, in Japan you just don't really do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hello is definitely this year at Miyata-san's birthday festival is definitely one of the performances of the year. But by far, and this is consistently every single time, but definitely by far the best performance of the year for me was Hisatsu Imomomomo 7. Or we just say Emo 7. You know, this is my favorite group right now. Definitely my all-time favorite group, like right now. These girls just they consistently perform at a club called Akiba Colors, which I pretty much live at these days, and that's their home base. And anytime you see an Emo 7 show at that place, you're in for a treat, because there's no rules there. Anything goes. You can do whatever you want there. There's no restrictions on fan behavior or crowd behavior, nothing. It's a very tiny venue. The ceiling's so low, if you jumped up, you can hit it with your hand. The girls very often, the stage is, if you can even call it that, it's just a little bit of a raised platform with like a barrier thing. The girls are always on that barrier. They're always in your face singing. But the thing about them is they have insta classic songs. Every single one of their songs is perfect. Their producer Kyoto-san, he's another genius writer. Very eccentric. It's everything you want to take about Idol that's great and awesome. It's every one of their performances. And this year particularly, they did a birthday show for Mirai-chan, one of their in their sister group Emo PP. It's one of their girls, and Mirai-chan is very close to my heart. She's actually, side note, she's probably my second best Checky seller on Idol Underworld after Miho. She sells. She's had me up to 200 or 300 Checky this past year. She's sold. I don't know why. Just everybody loves her, but it was her birthday festival, and Emo PP was, you know, basically it was their show, and, you know, there's a little bit of healthy competition between them, and there's another third group called Bakashino, and these three groups always play together. They're the HKP family, and there's other groups that were performing as well, and I'm thinking, how's the Momomo gonna top all this? Because consistently that birthday show was just one performance after another was raising the bar. There had to be like 150 people in there. You can't fit more than 60 people in there. So it was just, I mean, you just couldn't even move. And Emo 7 came on, and I'm not kidding you, they blew the roof off that place. Like, it was like one of those performances that I was in tears. I think a lot of other people were in tears. It was so emotionally moving and fun. That's the one thing about Emo 7 is all their songs are just fun. At one point, they get in the middle of the crowd, and everybody forms a circle around the girls, and they're just dancing, and you're dancing around them, and they're dancing with you, and then they start a circle pit around the girls, and you just go around in a circle while the girls are in the middle just enjoying it, and it's just pure joy. You know, and the girls are always really funny, and they always say the most random, weird things. They're all very, in real life, they're all really eccentric, and it's just pure, unadulterated idol bliss. And they gave that to me on that birthday show, probably more than any other show I've had this year. I'll never forget it. And I'm not doing it justice with my words. I'm just kind of I'm just thinking about my feeling at that moment, and it was just, I wasn't at Akiba Colors. I was at a place called Idol Heaven, if there is such a thing. That's who'd be performing there. It's just, you cannot understand how powerful that is when you have all these fans right in your face, and you're an idol, and you're this connected, you know, and you're just, you have such beauty, and fans are getting lifted up. Like I said, there's no rules, and everyone's screaming at the top of their lungs. Every mix, it's to the point you can't even hear the girls, and it's just like, that's a very powerful feeling to be part of in the pandemic era, where most venues you can't even move, you know, and so it's a very overwhelming thing to be part of. So that's definitely the best performance I've seen all year by anybody.
Wow, some nice choices. There's a lot of them I need to check out after this recording. Wow. But after the performances, well, Colin, worst song? Your mic is cut out, by the way.
My bad, sorry. Now we're getting into, we're getting into the last negative category with worst song, and then we get to the big finish, so that will be fun. So let's, bear with us, we're getting there.
Hey.
Mette, what is the song where you're like, this is my least favorite, or I don't like it, or whatever? Oh, she's
technically, the song hasn't been released yet.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Plot twist, okay.
I am opposed to the idea of the song or how it's being presented to me at the moment. And since it was announced in 2021, I'm counting it. Mainly because I didn't really find any songs in 2021 I outright disliked, or there's probably plenty I forgot. But, we gotta be a little bit current.
Yeah.
And BNK has announced this 12th single general election. And the 12th single will be produced by and written, and I think the choreo will be done also by AKB48 members.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm feeling iffy about that situation, especially since they haven't really given information.
Oh,
which makes it my least favorite single of 2021.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, if I could just say one thing, my advice to you on this would just be go easy on the girls, because it's not easy to write the songs, and if the girls,
it's not easy. So why are they letting them do the lead single? Why not the B-side?
Yeah.
But I think there could be a sense of endearing charm in the idol world to let an idol group do that, because there's no expectation of it being great, and so you're more.
We want a great song.
But it could be great in a different way. Is what I mean. It's great for the fans who like, oh wow, AKB did this.
But even then, it's why AKB and not BNK.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
that's
why
a real good point. Yeah.
The issue isn't actually my issue with the song. Isn't that it's done by AKB, the members themselves. That they have nothing to do with why I'm making it my worst song of 2021.
Oh, okay.
It's because of the way this whole situation with the information is being handled from management, because they're being really bad about telling us what this is going to be like, how it's going to work, and how they're actually planning on doing every part of this, instead of letting, let's say, the Kami 7 of BNK write the song, which would have been
already a better idea.
Thing.
Yeah.
Or
is this supposed to be like a gimmick though, or something? I mean, is this like?
We don't.
Is there a reason for? No, we literally know nothing.
Everything I can tell you is that this 12 single will be written by AKB members. It will be choreoed by AKB members, and the MV will, if possible, be shot in Japan.
But there was no reason for it. They just, we're gonna do this.
It's also random, apparently.
From my perspective, that's what I've been told.
And we don't know who exactly it will be. We just don't know how.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yes.
No idea.
Making sense now.
I think even Izurina said one of the reasons she's joining or thinking of joining this election is because she wants to be the go-between person between the Japanese members and
I can imagine,
of the Senbatsu, because they're making a song for the Thai idol market, and also a song for the BNK members, so there should be good communication between them, and Izurina thinks she can be that good link between.
So you think Izurina wouldn't have participated if this situation did occur, basically?
To be honest, I'm not sure anyone wants to participate really badly.
Yeah.
After...
Never, yeah.
I don't know. I think usually elections have been like this big fun event, but also, of course, sad and lots of other things. But I've seen so little enthusiasm for this, especially since they're not giving us good information. They're not giving us... Like, we're doing this by blockchain voting.
Yeah.
Also a question mark,
And also, once again, something the management has not elaborated on.
And they've announced the 12th single general election timeline, and we're getting an 11th single. Where is that? Where's the Senbatsu? Where is an MV timeline? Are we supposed to buy that? Everything about the 12th single so far is not making me optimistic, and since it was announced in 2021, it's the worst song.
It's very poor timeline. Vague, separate ideas.
So much uncertainty. Yeah. Wow.
Why would they do that? That's
weird.
I think that was an episode you Derek went there for, but we were literally going, what? Why? When? Why?
How?
Ooh, whatever.
Yeah. Whose idea was this?
Everything.
What?
But we want it to be good. Like, I want to say that up front. I want the 12th single to be good. I want the 11th single to be good.
Sure.
I want it to be
Sure.
successful. But I want it to make sense.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
We have to cross our fingers very hard.
Follow the group, coming as someone who doesn't really follow the group. This sounds like something that where their intentions might have been good, but the execution could have been done better.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In general. Just we want to do this the right way, but we're kind of messing it up a little bit too often.
We'll see what happens.
Recently.
Well, this is AKB we're talking about. I mean, you know, it's story of their life.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's odd. Maria, do you have a worse?
I am gonna jump over to K-pop with this one.
Oh.
And this is something that absolutely hurts to say.
Oh.
Because there honestly hasn't been many bad songs.
Huh?
And the one song I absolutely do not like is from my all-time favorite K-pop group, EXO.
Oh, okay.
Like, they were the group that got me into idols overall. And they had this comeback this year, Don't Fight the Feeling. It was the first comeback over a long time, and it will be their last comeback in a long time. Because a lot of the members are in the military, and they shot it like right when a few members came back and right before a few members went into the military. And oh god, I don't like the song at all. Which is all the shame because I want to like it. Not to mention because it features the member Lei, who is over in China and hasn't promoted with the group in 5 years.
Ooh.
Was featured in that release. So I want to like the release all the more. But oh god, the song is so awful. I cannot stand it. It's literally, in my opinion, one of the worst songs they have ever released. And it's a shame.
It's a shame. No, that sucks. 5 years.
Yeah, that's a long time actually. What the?
It's politics. He's Chinese and really famous in China. And like a youth ambassador for his hometown. And China and Korea for a longest time had really, really bad relationships to the point Korean songs were banned on Chinese television. And like on Chinese television, they didn't even mention the word or place Korea. It was just overseas. And so they just made the decision that it's better for him to stay in China and work solo than, you know, alienate all ties with his home country.
Fun times.
That's
wow. That sucks. Yeah.
It's that's the life of an XOL. Pain and suffering.
Oh wow. Yikes. That's bleak. What the?
No words. That's just...
In their almost 10-year career, we have had 2 good years. 2.
Well, put it that way, it's even worse.
Yeah, it's pain and suffering.
Rather the other way around, of course. So fun stuff. More fun stuff. I hope more fun stuff. DX, what is your worst song?
No, this isn't necessarily a worst song nor a bad song, but it's a song that could have been better actually. And to be quite honest,
could be worse.
To be quite honest, once AKB announced Nimhama Rumor, I didn't know what to expect, and then I heard the song for the first time. I wasn't too thrilled about it. It actually took till the release of the MV to make me a bit more enthusiastic, but for me this song itself could have been way better than it is in its current state, to be quite honest. I don't know, it didn't click me at first. It didn't click me. It didn't click with me at first, but now the song is good, but for me there is still this lingering feeling it could have been way better, but I'm not much of a songwriter nor a music writer, so yeah.
I feel ya.
I call that, DX, if you initially hate a song and then it grows on you. I call it Stockholm Syndrome. Like,
yeah, might be, that might be,
yeah. Yeah.
The song gives you, like, no choice. It's like, you will like me. You will.
Yeah, that might be
it also
a
could have
good...
been a thing of, like, expectations, because this was, like, their first single after, like, however long it was. After Shitsuden Arigato,
yeah.
was the last one before it, and
also
was an only AKB Senbatsu after like 11 years.
Yeah,
Especially for someone like me, I waited until the music video to listen to the song, so I didn't see any performances of it. I didn't hear anything of the song.
Yeah.
So like my MV was like my first exposure to the song, so I got it with the music video. So that kind of added on to that.
That makes sense. Was that your pick for, or did you have another?
No, I like Nemohama Rumor.
Oh, okay, okay.
I got something else. I got something else to talk about for worst song. So, at first I was inclined to. I was gonna say a different song, a Luna song, actually, one of their B-sides. I was gonna be inclined to pick it at first because I was like, not because it's bad. It's actually a really good song, but it was just too short for my liking. Like I thought. They could have done this a chorus longer. This is too short for me. but then I remembered there was another K-pop song from a different group that I had listened to, and when I remembered because my exposure to the song when I first heard it is kind of the non-standard, and it was kind of weird how I got introduced to the songs. So
how? Now I'm curious.
Yeah, same.
So Aespa's Savage.
Oh no.
We do not talk about Aespa in this
yeah.
First off, I just want to say, if you like Aespa and if you like this song, then good on you. This is just my opinion. I don't follow Aespa. I don't listen to their music a lot. So I'm just kind of more indifferent to them. But my introduction to this song in particular, because, you know, I've heard stuff from, like, Black Mamba and Next Level, of course, you know, mostly from other groups covering it, because so many other groups, you know, cover Aespa stuff and stuff like that. But Savage in particular was one I had a weird introduction to, because literally the first time I heard the song and saw them performing it was the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade performance.
Okay.
Oh, weird. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's so random.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, right? It's like so random, right?
Yeah. Really random.
I feel like I remember just like watching them perform the song, and I'm like, huh.
This feels odd, strange.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know how to feel about it because I think we can all agree one of the biggest draws to K-pop in terms of the music is definitely the performance factor, like seeing them dance and do all these formations and stuff, and how they, you know, how they go along with the music and stuff. They couldn't show their full potential because they're literally just standing in a line. They can't really move around because they're on a float.
On the float too. Okay.
Across the street. Also, the camera work was not helping them because the camera kept cutting away to, like, you know, focus on, oh, there are floats and balloons in the back, and there's a giant turkey, and there's also this, like, group of people, you know, the people who, like, walk around the float to help it, like, you know, guide it through the street. The people aren't really the best dancers. They're just doing the, it's like, that as an introduction to the song. It wasn't even the full song, because I did eventually go back and watch, like, a performance video of it that they did. So I'm like, okay, the song really isn't that bad now that I hear the full song, because there are parts that I like. Like, I like this one member, Ning Ning, because I had to find out what her name was by the end. Ning Ning, because I don't follow the group. Her vocals at the end I really liked. But I just remember thinking, this song really just isn't jamming with me. If I had to compare it to a song that was similar but that I liked better, Blackpink's Pretty Savage I liked a lot better than this.
I guess I can understand that. But talking about the Macy's Parade, there was this one thing where Aespa doesn't have a light stick yet. So as a joke, they said fans can bring carrots and cabbages. And fans did bring carrots and cabbages with them.
They kind of asked for that one. Oh, they kind of asked for it.
Fans have carrots and cabbages with them.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's toys of them. Sometimes it's just straight up a cabbage.
What do I bring to a concert? A carrot. What?
What?
That just makes me think back to Mamamoo, because their light stick is literally like a radish, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
like,
now that you say it, yeah.
Like
It's like yo, I'm going to the K-pop concert tonight. Hey, yo, before we go, we gotta go to the farmer's market. Let's go pick out some vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, again, no hate towards aespa. If you love this group and you love this song, then more power to you. It's just not for me.
Yeah, no, of course.
Exactly.
That's
I get that.
so random. It's so random.
I know.
The members also talked about like how it was really good. You could definitely recognize a fan. You know, nobody's just holding a cabbage mentally.
No.
I have a question though. Has any fan been blown up to just like chuck a cabbage in one of the girls' heads? I'm just picturing like, like baseball throwing it, and boom, you know? Cause it's like, yeah, I'm thinking like medieval times, you know, like when they would wheel people out to be like murdered and drawn.
Oh god.
And, you know, some president would be like, I hate you, and then just throw the cabbage, you know? Like, does that ever happen? Because I'm tempted to think that some idiot would do that.
Oh god.
It hasn't happened yet, but honestly, if it does happen, I can see Giselle eating it.
Oh god.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a funny image of he catches it in their hands like, oh yeah, this is my lunch and dinner, because you know we don't really eat. No. Then she's over her weight balance today, and then she has to do like 400 push-ups after the concert. Yep, gotcha. Oh, gotta love those man.
It's been absurd.
That's funny though. Yeah, I can see it.
How Ruka was introduced to it is random, but the story with
it's so random.
Yeah.
Also random. It's random.
Wow.
It's meta random. Like
Thanksgiving parade, you're gonna wheel out girls that have cabbage holding fans that bring cabbage and vegetables and fresh produce to the live set. Well, you thought my stories were shocking. I just have to eat
no. Screw the condom balloon boobs.
Why do you need condom balloons? You got fresh produce. You could get a good meal out of a good performance and everything. That's amazing. Those poor girls are finally gonna eat. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the story. Ruka needs a breather. You need a breather. I kind of need a breather.
Yeah, same.
A lot of breathers. I need an oxygen tank for the next time.
I can give a breather because my answer is very tame. So for more song.
Still, Ruka has some more to the story.
Okay. She's good. She's good. She's good.
We're good.
Ruka right now
done.
Yeah, Ruka right now is dodging lettuce in her head. That's what she's picturing. She's like, you know, I can just see it.
Yeah, Matrix style. Matrix style, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm going to move on to my pick for the worst song. So for this, the funny thing is, I wanted to do a disclaimer. While we're doing this episode, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of need to do a disclaimer, definitely. And then Andi comes in, and I'm like, okay, I'm not so in need for a disclaimer, because my worst song is Rumor. And I just want to clarify, there's no malice in it. I just really don't like the song. I really don't. It also includes the MV.
Remember.
Yeah.
Just to be safe, it also includes the MV. It includes everything, because with song you think, oh, the MV is not, but it does. It makes more sense. I really, with the exception of the energy, it has good energy and it has a good beat. Other than that, there was nothing about it that I liked, and I feel bad about it in a way. Particular, as I talked about, like it started a new age, or that's what I think. With AKB, like it put them back on the map, like people are loving it, which is great. But I really, the weirdest thing about it is well, it does not have a hook. It's like not catchy for me, by nature. And the weirdest thing about it is that I don't really remember it. It's just the feeling that I have with it. It's almost like you had a bad meal, and you only remember being sick about it. Not that this is nauseating or anything, but I just got nothing out of it. The big thing that I don't like is the choreography. I said before, I just think it's too wild, too chaotic for me. I really can't get into that. And the song itself, again, I like the energy. It's like, I like the energy that it brings. It's still something, but like everything about it is not done in such a way that I wouldn't say it's bad. Like the MV, I think is boring. That one I do think is boring in particular. The rest, it's just not clicking with me at all. And I kind of felt bad because I instantly knew that I would, because for the primary reason being that it invokes those feelings. Those, there we go again, kind of feeling. Which again, I don't think it's awful, though with the exception of one song that I really don't like to listen to, No Way Man. I don't hate it, but it's just not doing a thing for me. And even though, yeah, the girls do great, but I get so little out of it that I'm like, I really hope that the next song will be a bit more up my alley or a bit more positive in a similar way that I was more or less with Sustainable, which was also a song I did not like, but I could at least appreciate it more. It still had basic things that I could like in that way, but still not a song where I'm like, yeah, let's watch it or let's listen to it again. As opposed to say something stupid as Shichu and Arigato, which I'm like, I go for this, sure, why not? So people will probably love it, which is great. I get nothing out of it. I'm like, next. You know, I'm buzzing like at America, British, Canada's, you know, Got Talent, buzzing because it's not doing it for me. I felt a little bit better when Randy also brought that up. I'm like, whew, okay. Lots of from my shoulders where I'm like, okay, whew, I'm not entirely alone in this. Even though it's for different reasons.
Yeah.
But let's go to Derek for his worst song, or you know, something along those lines. You know, whatever. What do you have?
I don't have a worst song. It's just, and I'll just keep this brief. It's just more like I had a longing the entire year for AKB to put out something I could really love, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was a collection of their overall body of work in 2021 that once again left me feeling the way I felt in 2020 and once again felt in 2019. I feel like I'm still waiting for AKB to have that renaissance period, that great revolution where they actually hire a team of qualified songwriters who know what they're doing, who can inject new life into them, or go back to the old school writers and get them on board to like pen some major classics. I feel it's going to be hard for AKB given the lack of talent because they've lost so many people. Or rather, I should say, the talent they have not developing it. Where we get, and it's just
new gen,
but new gen is coming.
Hopefully.
New gen is coming, and you never know. It's just a longing I have mostly that made me a little feel again not worse, but not, you know what I mean? Like I just
I get what you mean because this year there hasn't really been a standout hit.
There hasn't.
No.
Among the 48 group, among the 46 group, there hasn't been a standout hit that you go, this is the song. It's
right.
There has been plenty, but there also hasn't been any like, oh, this is really bad. There hasn't been any songs like that either. It's just been either good or meh. You know?
I'm vibing with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like even in K-pop, there hasn't been no groups that have had really good year over. There are honestly some groups I feel like are determined to release a good song, a bad song, a good song, a bad song, and I cannot stand it. It's like nobody can just put out consistently good songs.
I agree. I mean, AKB had that golden era, as you all know. They just couldn't put out a bad song.
Yeah,
they just couldn't, and that era is long gone. But it doesn't mean they can't come back with something new, fresh, interesting.
Yep.
But they need a massive life support put into their system to do that. Maybe this will be the year. You never know. Fresh blood can always mean the next. I mean, we may get the next Maeda Atsuko. You never know. You just never know. That's one of the most beautiful things about idols. The idol world is very transient in nature. But for every idol that goes, there's 100, 200 idols that'll pop up, and you never know which one is going to be that one that's going to be like, oh my god, that'll lead the charge.
Yeah, and it's like some people are like don't want a new generation because they're like, oh, we have so many girls already. But I also feel like AKB needs a new generation because it's like we won't get a new Achan from the current lineup. It's been 5 years. Like
true.
Looking at Eri, like she's gonna be the future Ace, you know, but Eri has been in the group for 5 years.
Yeah, she's not ace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at some point you just have to accept we don't have that in this set of girls. Nobody is going to develop into that girl at this point. You know.
You got to think also idols don't age like normal humans. So like you have to compare idols to like cats or dogs. Like Eddie being in the group 5 years, she's about 6,587 years old. Like in Hobbit or Elf years or whatever, because it's just like they don't age the same way. So I'm being facetious, but I'm also kind of being true. Like that is an abnormally long amount of time to be an idol.
AKB, it's also like people haven't noticed the passage of time. People think of, people don't realize how long it actually has been.
Yeah, it's been a while. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, so that being said, fresh blood is needed. Always. You always gotta keep them coming. But again, what will the staff, what will their companies do with it? Can we see, can we see something? That's, I guess, 2022's hope for me, but 2021 was definitely a year of longing and aching. Yeah. More like I wanted something more, didn't get it. But to be fair, 2021 was also sort of kind of, if I think I could say this, Maria, correct me if I'm wrong here, but kind of the spotlight was a little bit more on like the K-pop world, IZ*ONE, and you know what I mean? IZ*ONE was kind of coming out of that whole glorious 2020 they seem to have had, if I'm not mistaken. It didn't seem like a whole lot of excitement was on this side, in that sense.
K-pop has been very girl group focused recently. Like I would say, fourth gen of K-pop. I would say third gen was really led by the boy groups. This generation is absolutely dominated by the girl groups. They are doing so much more. There is so many more of them who are doing really good stuff. It's been great.
Yeah. So then we can go to the next topic. The last one.
Yeah, the big one. So for the last topic, well, if we have a worst song, we also gotta have a best song. Yes. So I'm going to start this one out. For me, I actually had a hard time choosing between two songs that were released in 2020 and 2021. Yeah. 2021 in any case. But I had a hard time choosing, and funny enough, they weren't any from the Japanese based for their groups actually. I couldn't pick one because they're both equally good in my opinion. And first one is Team SH. Team SH, their original song called Chun Chuling, and from CGM it's Mali. Both are equally good for me in my opinion, and for me both of them were Song of the Year for me because they took what in essence is the 48 group, their aspects and their essence basically, and they gave their own twist to it. For CGM case, they gave it that Thai twist, and for Team Shanghai that twist, they gave it the local twist as well. So it's more like they run with it, and they produced two great songs. So for me, the best songs are Chin Chuling and Mali.
Oh, well said.
Yes, but continue on from me, Colin. What were your best song for last year?
It's the weirdest thing. It's not an A side, it's a B side. It's from AKB, and it was a song that I totally forgot about.
Oh, okay.
Because you know that one because we talked about it.
Yeah, true.
Because I usually it's Black Jaguar.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing about it, because I'm usually, as Ruka said a little bit about that earlier, I also am the kind of guy, I want to wait until the MV comes out, and then I'll see it, have everything at once. And I'm like, oh yeah, Black Jaguar, I watch it when the MV comes out. Yeah, sure. It's a theater CD. So and I was like, oh yeah, I knew it, but I didn't click with it. It's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. It's been a year and a half since the last release, so I forgot. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check it out just to be sure. Because Hachinoso Dance from Team 8, which I forgot which coupling song that was to, was also a theater CD, and it was like, awesome song. Yokoyamu is Team 8 centered it, I'm pretty sure. Like, I really like that song. And then, so I was like, let's check out Black Jaguar, just to be safe. And then it's like, yeah, I'm actually vibing it with this as I've been a bit with more or less Shizuru and Arigato, where it's like, I like this song. This has the same beat like Rumor has, but like a bit more effective. The weirdest thing is that it feels like an anime intro song to me. Particularly if it's the first minute. Like, I'm feeling like, this could be an anime intro song. I could totally see it. I don't know which kind of anime it would be, but probably something a bit more action or that maybe shonen. And I could easily see that. And I think it's just a good song to me. It pumps me up. It has that same energy. A little bit. I wouldn't say it's the most catchiest thing ever, but it's still, I remember it. I remember, yeah, I remember it, and that's good. I like it. It's like, yeah, I'm vibing it. I put it on my playlist, which is basically, then it means that I like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Yeah, true.
And it's, I really like it. I'm really fortunate that we don't have the MV for it or AMV. I hope that we get to see more performances of it because I do really want to see it. I also have no idea what the MV would be like. I'm not even sure I would like the MV, but who knows? It's just an odd vibe that I would have because I'm not sure. I don't know what route they would pick. Well, maybe, but not maybe one I like. But we'll see. You know, kind of like with this song, it could be it's a theater song. I did not expect to like it as much, but Black Jaguar, I like it. It's like I can roll with this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah, not all good songs have an MV, unfortunately, but yeah, a really good pick.
No.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest thing is, I don't like the A-side song, but the theater CD I like the most. So it's a weird contrast. I did not plan this out. It's like this is how I felt.
Awesome.
Just coincidence.
Awesome. Ruka, do you have a best song of this year, of last year?
Yes, I do. And you know, they say save best for last. So, last time I'm going to be talking about PIXY for this video, but I had to bring this up because this is like, so far, this is the best song that they have put out. And I think a lot of fans can agree on this because I remember there being like a popularity poll, people like ranking what songs they like the most. And this ranked the highest. And it is their title track, Addicted, for their mini album, Temptation. It was their second mini album to come out. And Addicted is like, to me, this perfectly represents what I was talking about earlier, the dark crush concept I was associating with this group, how I was describing it. This, to me, perfectly encompasses what I mean by that. Because everything in the song, like from the way the vocals, where it can go from these hauntingly beautiful, ethereal sounding vocals to, it can switch it up to this one member, Sapio, I mentioned her again, she has this really deep voice. So she can go like really deep for her rap parts in the song, and it switches it up so much. The choreo, again, is like some of their best. So, like, it's so good. They're so good in, like, with all of their choreos, it's this way. But, like, telling the story through their choreo of, like, portraying it through the lyrics or how they move and what formations they use. Like, you know, like, literally, there's a scene in the music video where one of the members, Dia, who's actually my bias, I love her very much, there's a scene in the music video where she's, like, buried under all this dirt and she, like, rises up like she's a zombie or something.
Oh.
They kind of portray that in the beginning choreo because it starts with all the members, they're, like, covering her, like, face with them, and then she slowly kind of emerges from out of them. And it looks amazing! Like, every little detail you can get from the choreo to how they're portraying the song in the lyrics and the music video as well, because there's so much in the music video as well that is so good. It's like, it's just everything that I love about this group. I feel like this is so far, this is like perfect for them. Like, this would be a perfect introduction to show, like, oh, what's this group all about? Show them this. Show them the music video for Addicted, and they can get a really good idea of, like, what this group is like, because it's just, so good. So, yeah, I think like, wow. It's just that good. And definitely they are deserving title of Rookie Group of the Year, in my opinion.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome. Mette, do you have a song of the year?
Do I? I wonder.
I wonder.
Well, I have 2 songs as well. So of course, one of them is Molly. Like, there's no question about that. That song for me, it's the spiritual successor of songs like Shonichi and Sojo Tatsuyo. And it's like just such a good 48 song, regardless of group. And I love everything about it. There's no question about it. The other song is a song I've liked a lot for. I liked it when it was an AKB song as well. It was a coupling song. But I really enjoy seeing music as center for it. And it's the Dia coupling song Skida Skida Skida.
Oh, Skida,
yeah.
Yes.
Everything about it is so much fun to watch and so much energy. And it's a really, it's the type of song that just sticks in your head when you're done listening to it.
Yeah.
So, but Molly's on top and Sukida is like a very good close second for this year.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yes. So, Maria, do you have any thoughts on best song of this year, of last year?
I am struggling to pick just one.
Oh.
I am
same problem I had.
honestly stuck between 3. I won't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not. I'll start with SKEvolution, ABCDEFR, the top 7 song that they released as they disbanded.
Yeah.
And I honestly wonder if they had released the song before they made the decision to disband. I think they might have stayed together, because the song honestly went quite a bit viral on Vietnamese TikTok. And the song has awful lyrics. I prefer to forget that lyrics exist. They are so cringy.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw lyrics as cringy as that, but the song itself is good, so I just ignore the lyrics existing.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, most of it's in Vietnamese, so
we can't understand it anyway.
So
I'm just ignoring it existing. And then I have 2 K-pop songs to pick between that coincidentally both have the same featuring singer. Not the main singer, but the same featuring singer. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of them that I'm just going to be very brief about is TXT 0 times 1 equals Love Song. Perfect song. Nobody expected it from them. Even their haters like it. It's an ideal song. But the one I want to go more deeper in is Moonbyul featuring Sori, Shut Down. And I think everybody in the know about it had a bit of a meltdown when it released, because Moonbyul is one of those idols with who everybody knows she's a lesbian. Everybody knows it. She just hasn't officially said it. Well, this song is a song that features female pronouns. It's a song that has quite explicit innuendo.
Okay.
Very obviously referring to gay sex, which my heart, I listened to that song religiously. It's such a beautiful song. The music video as well is so cozy. There's nothing explicit about it.
Oh, okay.
It's such a cozy setting that you like just watching the video, you get the vibes just from the Sori and Moonbyul sitting next to each other. You get the vibes, but nothing more than that happens. They just sit next to each other and Sori looks at Moonbyul, and you get it. It's such an amazing music video, and I just love. And on that topic, it's also the site Koreaboo that posts like news called Moonbyul an ally for that music video, and I have never laughed more, because if that's an ally, what is a lesbian? Like, like she's literally singing about having gay sex in a gay music video, and the news site is calling her an ally. Like,
oh wow.
yeah,
okay.
That was
Not much to the imagination, yeah. Wow. Nice pick. Or rather, the background towards that one. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Derek, any thoughts on best song of last year?
You're muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
It's not me, one. Yes. You were muted.
Yes.
Am I still?
Oh,
yeah.
Fine.
How did I get muted? That was weird.
No,
different.
maybe it's just Discord screwing up. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, I don't know how that happened. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be a little shameless here, but I think for me it has to be the songs that I wrote and did because I thought they were awesome. Basically, hold on. Now for some reason I'm not seeing any of you. It's just me.
Everything seems to work fine here.
What the heck just happened? Hold on,
We're still here, don't worry.
Yeah, we're still here as far as I can tell.
Anyways, so yeah, Miho's song Doubt and Kosame's song Chord. I can't really pick between the two. They're both like children of mine. They were, songs that launched both those girls' idol careers, and they've since have become very big staples of their sets, and everybody seems to like the songs. A couple fans even know the words, and it's starting to catch on. I wrote a lot of chord myself, and that was a very difficult thing to write. But Kosame took it over, did all the lyrics for it herself. She's very brilliant. When we did the MV, it was very difficult to do because that MV deals a lot explicitly with like a lot of abuse stuff and suicide and things like that. And so I actually had to act in that MV and pretend like I was the person hurting Kosame. So that was an experience for me, kicking her in the head and stuff.
Wow.
But the thing is she was fully committed to it. She was fully committed to the idea of the story. Telling her story is so deeply personal. It's a very unusual thing for idol. Like we definitely are tiptoeing that line between idol and artist, but that's intentional. I really just like the fact that we pushed boundaries really far with that song, and with Doubt also. That's definitely a song that doesn't necessarily sound like idol on the surface. You can mix to it, but it's just the more you listen to it, I think the more people realize it's just not your typical easy 1, 2, 3. Here's a part to mix. Here's a part to do catch-a type song. You have to really think about it, but they were definitely, in my opinion, the best songs because I enjoyed them the most. Because when I was, always, always in the audience, filming, and just being part of that, or hearing the music on really good speakers in Tokyo, like when we're lucky enough to play venues that actually have a sound system, and even more luckier to have a person on the PA that knows how to run the sound system. It just sounds like the songs sound fantastic. I mean, Kosame played one venue, and there's some bass parts in a couple of her songs that, like, literally the floor shakes. It feels like an earthquake, and that's a great feeling to know that, I made that. So
yeah, I can imagine.
It's a very odd. I mean, it's why I do it. I'm an entertainer. I like to entertain. So when I can see people's reactions and people are having a great time, and it's just. I got to see that a lot this year, so I guess that's why it's the best song for me, because I have an emotional attachment to those songs very deeply, so that would be it for me.
Oh, those were awesome picks for best songs, so for anyone listening, please check all of them out, because they have a special meaning towards all of us. Colin, any closing thoughts?
I look forward to 2022, even though 2021 was... not terrible, but it wasn't great. But with 2022, we've already talked about a few things that we look forward to, that we are a bit hyped about. Mostly particular, JKT, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a new era video coming out soonish. I mean, faster than you would think. So there's stuff coming, and I look forward to that. So I hope that we get that by the end of 2022, if we do this again, like a recap, that we have more easier picks. Not to say that a lot was not easy or a lot was easy, but like an easier way to get picks where you feel a strong attachment to what you really, really liked in that year. So I'm just hopeful that 2022 will be more fun, more entertaining, easier with the categories to pick for 2022 than it was for 2021. That's it.
Maria, any closing thoughts?
In 2022, love Sakura Saka a lot. My beautiful, beautiful girls. just give them a lot of love. They deserve it. Give a lot of love to the AKB 17th gen as well. They deserve it.
Yep.
Look out for them. Take care of them. And I think that's about it for me. Just love idols a lot.
Yes.
Love.
Definitely.
The year of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mette, any closing thoughts?
Hope 2022 will be a year filled with as few as possible graduations and as many.
Yeah, no.
I hope. Well,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But I hope 2022 will be a year filled with fun projects for us all, for the idols that we love, new singles, comebacks if that's the one you're in, that's what it's called, and that you will show each and every idol some appreciation for the hard work they're doing towards their dreams.
Awesome.
And support CGM and BNK, come on.
More focus on that.
Yes. Yeah, for me personally, for 2022, I just hope AKB48 or the 48 in group in general can bounce back from the, I would say, downward spiral, downward-ish spiral. But if Namahama or Rumor is anything to go by, might be naive, but I am having good hope that it's going to be a good year. And especially, let's hope there's some consistency in the releases from every group, because last year it has been up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, basically. But if it's stable, I'm more than happy. So those are my closing thoughts for 2021. And my
I would echo that. I echo that.
Ruka, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, so again, I feel like 2021 was definitely the year of like fluctuation. Like,
ooh, yeah.
So like there was definitely ups and downs. We had like some peaks where like there was some really good stuff that was happening, but there were also a lot of low points, and again, things just being hectic, not just in the idol world, but in my personal life as well. Again, won't go into detail about that. But I've also been happy that I've been able to do fun stuff like for the channel, like, because we haven't really been able to post like as much as consistently as we used to. But like, I mean, last year I got to start collabing, you know, like with you guys, for example, doing videos like on this channel, or over, you guys have been over on our channel before, or doing other collabs. This year I started streaming for the first time. I started doing a couple game streams. I'm hoping that once I get over this dang cold, I'll be able to start doing that again.
Oh yeah, definitely,
I totally forgot that you had that. So.
And plus, actually, speaking of our channel, we're coming up on 5 years of the channel being around. Like in March, we're gonna hit our 5-year mark anniversary.
Wow. That's
a big deal. Maybe we'll try to do something special regarding that. But yeah, again, it's just like all sorts of ups and downs. But yeah, I'm hoping, like, I've just been happy, especially with like a lot of the newer groups that came out like this past year. I'm hoping we'll keep getting to discover not only what these newer groups that are coming out could do, but what other groups could come in. Like, who else could come out and be like, oh, they could be something amazing, you know, stuff like that. Like, that sort of potential is like what I'm looking forward to the most, especially groups like, I talked about PIXY a lot in here, but also like, you know, for example, like, they just debuted at the end of 2021, so they're just starting out. We haven't seen their full potential yet, but like, so many other groups, so many other idols as well. There's so much that could happen that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Awesome. Derek, as last, closing thoughts?
Yeah, so I want to thank you, DX, for once again starting this channel and giving us, you know, you kept 48 Talk going in this version and its unique way that it is today. It still makes me a little bit sad that people like Robin and Gino aren't part of this anymore. I miss them, but at the same time, I think we have solidly kept this going for how long that we have. Maria, Matt, Colin, you know, it always pains me when I'm so busy with stuff I can't be part of this, which thankfully hasn't been that much. But just being here today, just being able to talk about my crazy existence and you guys taking your time to listen. This was a long podcast, and yet, you know, I still feel kind of awake in that sense. Like, your stories were all very interesting. It's just, I don't know, it just feels good. So thank you, DX, because you made it possible. Thank you, Colin, Maria, and Matt, for just being amazing human beings, for being in my life. You know, 2021 was definitely more richer and more felt better. Sometimes a little interesting between us, but always a good time. So thank you. And Ruka, thank you for joining us today. It's so nice to have you, and congratulations on your own streaming and podcast stuff. That's incredible, and I hope you feel better. 2021 definitely, Ruka said it best. It was a year of fluctuation. I think that says it all. I don't think I need to expand on that. I think you perfectly summarized it. I think in terms of what everyone else was saying, you know, to be nice to idols and stuff. Here's the thing, you know, we are in the midst of a terrible global pandemic. Both fans of idols as well as idols themselves are, you know, we're not at the peak. We're not doing as well as we could be. This is the time now more than ever to give instead of be selfish and just take. So honestly, you know, again, like, I have a website, Idol Underworld, you can go to, you can buy stuff and support the Chico idols I work with. Even buying one little thing on that site, I can't tell you how much that helps these idols. It helps me too a little bit. I mean, I don't take much from any of the sales, but like, it helps them. It mentally it helps them, because they're like, oh, there's people outside of Japan that actually like us. We're actually reaching other people. This is great. You cannot understand the mental impact that actually has on these young girls. That, like, again, their world is the Tokyo club venues, even AKB, I'd say to a certain degree, some of the lesser members, just reaching out to them on Twitter or whatever, or just giving them some love properly. I think you cannot understand how much karma that turns that wheel. It turns the karma wheel big time. So yeah, I agree with what my fellow family here has said. Turn the wheel, turn it some more. You know, it'll come back to you. That's what I'm going to try to do in 2022. I have, you know, Mio and Kosami's CD will be, their first full lengths will be coming out this year. Hana will debut probably in May. I mean, if all things are going consistently well. I still struggle very much with trying to keep my business afloat, because again, the pandemic has just crushed so much of my ability to do anything, but somehow still making it. I'll continue to still try to cautiously work with groups at Idol Underworld and get new groups and stuff. If you told me today, back in 2020, at the same time, that I'd be working with groups like I mentioned today, I would have said no way. You know, to see the crazy things I've discussed today, I never in a million years would have thought, you know, I'd be talking about condom bra balloons or whatever. So, you know, I'm just saying, it's just, you never know. You know, the idol world is crazy like that. The idol world is such fluctuation of ups, downs, highs, lows. Just remember, idols are here today, gone today. So don't get too bent out when your idols leave. But at the same time, there's so many more things to discover. So let's make 2022 a year of discovery, both hopefully on the major level, which I'm so dying, like all of you, to see AKB come back. I mean, like, crush it. Every year I have this hope. Maybe this is the year, you know, maybe the new gen, we will get a Maya to Atsuko. Maybe we'll get a couple. You never know. Or maybe Nogizaka 46 will surprise us. Who knows? The Sakamichi series, those girls, you never can count them out. So, and then of course all the overseas groups. I mean, my God, BNK, I mean, can they do no wrong? So I expect nothing but great things by they're led by their almighty queen of queens, Azarina. And, you know, just, we might even see Manila 48 blow us all away, because they can do it. Because they got incredible talent over there. Incredible. So, you know, or JKT, as they proved us in 2021, they had the ability to say, oh, wait, don't count us out. Check this out. We just blew you all away. Boom. See you later. 2022, we're up. You know, so it's like, or K-pop might get some. I'm still waiting for a girl crush group that's gonna just pound my head into oblivion. So, anyways, the point is like, we've said a lot here. Gonna leave it at that. 2022 is gonna be a good year for us. I have a good feeling. Keep that karma wheel going, and it will be a good year. And that's all I gotta say.
Yes, and with that, we've come to an end of this long episode, or rather special in this case. So, and with that, please say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you all.
And have a good 2022.